We will see. If we had formed the government, what can we do?
By Friday morning, Vijay still didn't have the numbers. There was an active bid to stop him from forming the government, and all TVK MLAs were threatening to resign if that happened. TVK opened back-channel talks with smaller regional forces and left parties. Then came the biggest twist in the tale. By evening, Vijay was back at the governor's house with another letter of support. TVK claimed 120 MLAs. The stage seemed set for swearing in. The governor was still not satisfied. The release of Vijay Sarkar was delayed again.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Where the software engineer with a big idea meets the smart market analyst, meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the gifted content writer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day. The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live, unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. France. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात. वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है. अरे मेरे राजा सबका राजा और प्योर मसाला.
India's unshakable news habit. NDTV.com is India's #1 English news website.
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky over Rome, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo. It's the way you make me feel.
मीठा या नमकीन चाहे जैसे खाओ 100% सूजी से बनी आर प्योर वर्मिसेली स्वादिष्ट सेहतमंद हर रोज.
Those magic numbers to allow him to begin his journey as the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister could be ending anytime soon, but nothing is over until it's over here in Tamil Nadu. I'm Shivarur. Great to have you with us. Lots of breaking stories coming up. All eyes are on CK headquarters. That is the final party hold with support for Vijay likely to be announced. Let's get started with the headlines at 10 a.m. Suspense over Tamil Nadu's power thriller continues as Vijay Sarkar dream hits another roadblock with alliance arithmetic refusing to fall into place All hopes, all eyes on the VCK's decision, expected to be released very shortly. Tamil Nadu numbers game gets messier. TTV Dinakaran of the AMMK questions TVK's support letter, says it is a forged support letter. TVK denies the charge, releases a video of the AMMK MLA, says Kamraj backed the TVK voluntarily, there was no coercion and no forgery. History in the making in Bengal as Suvendu Adhikari prepares to take oath in just an hour from now as the state's first BJP chief minister after ending 15 years of Trinamool rule. BJP bigwigs in Kolkata to attend the grand oath ceremony. Kerala Congress politics heads into the death overs tonight with the VD Satishan versus KC Venugopal showdown delaying the big chief ministerial decision, name of the new CM to be announced by today. India gets a new chief of the defence staff. Government appoints Lieutenant General N.S. Raja Subramani as CDS. He takes over at the end of this month. India also gets a new chief of the naval staff by the end of this month. It's Vice Admiral Krishna Swaminathan. Breaking story, the rolling breaking story that we're tracking right now. It's 10 a.m. on the dot here, and the VCK briefing here in Chennai is expected to begin at any time now. So we're standing by. NDTV is at the VCK headquarters as well. What is the VCK chief Tol Tirumavalavan going to announce? Is it going to be support for the Vijay, as we are all expecting, as is all being reported? Or will there be some last-minute twists and turns? Because the VCK chief, Tol Tirumavalavan, met with his erstwhile alliance partner M.K. Stalin last night. It was a meeting called by M.K. Stalin. What happened at that meeting, we don't yet know. But could there be some last-minute twists and turns? Let's go straight across to NDTV's Vijay Gopal Muralidharan, who's at the VCK headquarters. Vijay, what time is the press briefing expected to begin? And tell us about this meeting between Tirumavalavan and M.K. Stalin last night.
Shival, that's right. All eyes on now VCK. What would be their final decision? You see behind me, all arrangements are almost ready, and they have. I saw one leader, one senior leader, asking party functionaries to buy bouquets and all, flowers and all, to give either to give TVK Chief Vijay. Possibly he might come here also, and to pay respect to Ambedkar statue, as VCK is known for pro Ambedkar. There is one Ambedkar statue also here. They are making arrangements. They're cleaning these roads, these floors, and Ambedkar statue and all. So all arrangements are almost over, and we spoke with many senior leaders here. They said almost in 30 to 45 minutes, VCK Chief Tirumavalavan will be coming here, and he will be announcing his final decision. Though now all eyes on what would be his final decision. Like you mentioned about yesterday's crucial meeting between former Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu M.K. Stalin and VCK Chief Tirumavalavan. It was high-level meeting. We unable to get clear information, but we spoke with one of the close source to Tirumavalavan. He clearly said Tirumavalavan just conveyed the final decision to M.K. Stalin as a courtesy, because Tirumavalavan and M.K. Stalin, DMK, has been traveling together from 2016, post-2016 assembly election. So as an alliance dharma and courtesy, Tirumavalavan just conveyed his decision to M.K. Stalin. Still, we have to wait for it, because last night it was very clear. Many party cadre of VCK also were so optimistic. Even now, a section of VCK cadre are revealing that definitely VCK will extend support to TVK. But still, some are on a dilemma and confused mood. There were some meeting happened this morning. What our sources are saying, whether Tiruma will change his decision, or what about TTV Dinakaran. And also we heard from one of the close source to Tiruma. Tiruma was a bit upset over Amma Makkal Munnetra Kalagam's support to TVK. That's because you remember last night when NDTV accessed the letter of TVK, which was given to Governor Lok Bhavan, in which AMK one MLA was mentioned. There are controversy over that. Let's leave that controversy aside. But some sources indicates Thirumavalavan was upset over why TVK is asking support of Amma Makkal Munnetra Kalagam despite having that majority numbers. So these are all the developments we are getting. That's the one of the main reasons said to be it got delayed. Another one, yesterday evening there was crucial meeting chaired by Thirumavalavan through Zoom meeting where many functionaries demanded for a deputy chief minister post with one cabinet post and also MLA seat where Vijay has to resign from one constituency, so from which Thirumavalavan should allow to be contest, and once Thirumavalavan resigned as MP, that seat also again should come to VCK. So these are all the demands made by VCK to TVK, but we have to wait for a clear picture. Now all eyes on this press brief, the whole Tamil Nadu and we can say whole nation, what would be the VCK chief Thirumavalavan decision. Either he is going to express support to Tamalaga Vetri Kalagam with this, Thirumavalavan put end to all speculations and rumors. We have to wait and see, Shiv.
It's incredible how there is national curiosity and national attention over what a small party with just 2 MLAs in the state of Tamil Nadu is going to decide at a press briefing in a very short while from now. Our Chennai Bureau Chief Sam Daniel is also live with me. Sam, what is your best guess? Are there going to be more twists and turns with the VCK, or is it a done deal when they hold that press conference shortly, Sam?
You can never say till it happens, Shiv, but party sources say from their internal discussions last night, a virtual meeting on Zoom, they were all overwhelmingly asking to extend support to TVK as it opens the possibility of TVK's share in power with TVK government, which has been a key demand for many years as a policy by the VCK. But as Vijay said, the inclusion of AMMK, whether it's true or not, but that's something that could irritate other allies, because one condition, for instance, even the Congress had put forth was they should not ally with NDA allies. They had called it as divisive forces who do not believe in the constitution. They refused to name such parties, but the larger understanding was that they should not ally with any of the BJP allies. And AMMK is an ally of the BJP in Tamil Nadu as part of the larger AIADMK alliance, and that could actually be a kind of a thorn. But we'll have to see what they're going to announce in the meeting this morning. But when we speak to sources, they say the meeting was largely supportive of participating in the TVK government. Perhaps they will ask for the deputy chief ministership for Thirumavalavan and also one more berth for any other MLAs of the other MLA, for the other MLA from VCK. But we should wait for the official confirmation. But even as we speak, the AIADMK MLAs who were put up in a resort in Puducherry, they are on their way back in Chennai, and I'm outside the residence of AIADMK Chief EPS. It's not clear yet if their earlier plan to form a larger coalition, a government led by EPS, supported by DMK from outside, is still on track, or are they waiting for what happens to Vijay's efforts to form the government? All would depend on that. But the idea behind these MLAs moving to Puducherry was that a section of the AIADMK MLAs were keen that the AIADMK supports TVK and gets part of the government so that the party will not be out of power for a long time. The party had suffered 4 successive elections after Jayalalitha died, and now it had lost the assembly elections. They didn't want to be without power for 10 years. That's why they mounted pressure, but the AIADMK leadership later clarified that since there was silence from EPS on the question of whether or not to support Vijay's government, this had led to some confusion, but now all MLAs are on one page, and they argue that the MLAs were moved to Puducherry only to safeguard from possible poaching by TVK, as one of their former leaders, Senkotian, is there now, something that TVK has denied. So all are returning to Chennai. All would depend on what VCK decides. If it supports, then Vijay gets the magic number. Will the governor call him now to form the government? All would depend on that.
So if everything goes well, the VCK adds its numbers, Vijay gets that magic figure, he goes, meets the governor for the 4th time in 4 days, convinces him that he has the numbers and is invited to become the chief minister and form the government. Any change in this pathway means more trouble. But as of now, things seem to be on track with the VCK. They're going to hold their press conference, but like Sam rightly said, and I think this is the wisdom that very much applies to the Chennai Game of Thrones. Nothing is over until it's over, because even last evening, the sense was that when Vijay meets with the governor, everything is done, but we saw how that turned out. So the lesson there is, don't jump the gun, wait until everything is done, wait until the governor himself announces that the door is now open to an oath-taking ceremony. Anurag Naidu, political analyst, joins our coverage this morning. Good morning, Anurag. Good to have you. You know, the question that's on everyone's mind right now is that there clearly is a lot of muscle flexing, hard bargaining by these small parties. The VCK holding out at this point of time. The TVK hoping against hope that those last-minute loose ends have been tied up so they don't have to beat the governor for the fourth time without those numbers. How are you reading this unfolding Game of Thrones, Anurag? Welcome.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the show, Shiv. Good to see you after a while. Shiv, clearly what I can see is I think this entire episode is in its last leg. It's just a matter of formality, and I'm also given to understand from my sources very close to the Raj Bhavan, and then when I did my research, I'm given to understand that it is a matter of documentation. There has been verbal communications, email communications, but it's not in the format of the Raj Bhavan and the governor. And it's a matter of time. VCK is doing their last-minute negotiations. And what turns out or what comes out would be interesting to see. But what I do not see a point where VCK would, my personal opinion, would try to ditch Vijay, because, you know, whosoever goes against Vijay, if you see the incidents of last 3-4 days, the popularity and the sympathy has kept on increasing for Vijay. And I do not think in politics that's a healthy sign for the opposition to let this grow every single day. Now VCK, all eyes on VCK. If they say that we are going to pull the plug after giving an initial go ahead, and then it's out in the open that the negotiation did not go through well, and they have to face the wrath of the people. So I do not feel that it is politically a mature decision even for the VCK to step back at this point in time, but maybe last leg of negotiation. We've been very harsh on the Honorable Governor so far. He has done, you know, whatever he's been doing is well within its rights of the Constitution. All he's asking, look, Shiv, I've always been telling, before pointing fingers at the governor, we should say, did he invite any other party to stake claim? He is waiting for Vijay. And I'm given to understand in his one-on-one interactions with Vijay also, he's been very kind, polite, and that's exactly why you don't see a statement from Vijay or TVK against the governor, because he has been kind enough. All he's saying is, show me the number, give me a confidence. The Constitution clearly says the governor needs to feel confident of the number that you're presenting. So if you're saying that I have majority, the governor needs to feel just confident about the number. That is it. So I think we've been very harsh on the governor for quite, last couple of days. I think we're in the last leg. I'm of the view that there will be a swearing-in ceremony. Vijay will take oath as the chief minister very soon. It's just a matter of time.
How do you see the DMK and the AIADMK's role in this entire unfolding drama, Anurag?
Oh, yes. Definitely they were up for a play. They did try. They did try their best. DMK has been very, very smart, giving out statements in... Let's not forget, DMK is the most matured and seasoned set of politicians that we have in Tamil Nadu today, led by none other than Mr. M.K. Stalin. And they gave out statements in public that we need to have a stable government. Mandate is with Vijay. We need to hold back and see how we govern for the next 6 months. But all the game was being run at the background. There were communications. We have very credible sources to say that there were communications. AIADMK to their MLAs, also the message was very clear from EPS that there will be something interesting. There are something interesting developments that are going to happen. So please expect some good surprises in the favor of AIADMK. There is a lot of, but at the end of this day, even they could not put out the number. Even if you say in any way, the number will again come down to 2:2. Where you have VCK, you will not have PMK, and you will not have CPIM if it is CPI and CPIM. If it is, again, AIADMK. So in any combination, even if you let them go, there will not be a government which will be able to form. And then at the end of the day, Vijay will emerge as a hero. And I think that is something which will be very, very detrimental. So I think DMK was trying to play from outside, go both good cop and bad cop, And they have realized, apparently, there were communications with CPI and CPIM. The leaders have already come out in the public and given the statement that Stalin wanted us to give an outside support for AIDMK. They did not move, that did not work out. And then they say, okay, when it comes to the media, they say, oh, we are good cop. We want the government to be formed. But all the game was being run at the back rooms.
One quick final question, Anurag. How do you see the the DMK's relations with the Congress? That became a very sort of ill-tempered meltdown, at least at the spokesperson and senior leader level, not at the leadership level. But the DMK has taken a far more circumspect and mature view when it comes to these smaller parties. How do you read that?
That is a very interesting part. If you ask me, I think Congress has been very, very bold in taking this decision. In a way, the kind of relation Congress or the Gandhi family, let me be very particular, have with Stalin and family, I think to go all the way and give support, extend support to Vijay, although it is conditional, and to be the first one to give the support openly. And I'm given to understand from the DMK sources, I don't know what's true, that there has been no communication from the Gandhi family that they are going to give the support, and they just unilaterally went ahead and given the support to Vijay. And that speaks volume. And DMK has also, maybe not leadership has not given strong statements or verbally, although the spokesperson did, but the actions speak. Now, Kanimodi's letter that they want a separate seating arrangement.
Just stay with me for a moment. Hang on to that thought. We've got some breaking news coming in. Sources telling us that actor Vijay is likely to meet with VCK Chief Thol Tirumavalavan. Our political editor Vasudha is live with us on this NDTV news break. Vasudha, before that press conference, Vijay likely to meet the VCK Chief, you're hearing?
That's what I'm hearing, and it could happen, in the course of today, Shiv. We're not sure if he's meeting him right now, but we are told that he could be meeting him sometime during the day, but that is for sure that he would be meeting him, because if VCK support comes for, TVK, that means that they would reach the magic number of 118, something that has been evasive to the TVK for a while now. And in Ashoknagar VCK office also, there's a lot of strong deployment of security personnel as well. My TVK sources are telling me that Vijay does intend on meeting VCK chief sometime during the day, and it might happen sooner than we expect.
No, but the crucial question here, Vasudha, is that a meeting going to happen post the press conference or before? Because if it's before, then there is still something to talk about. If it's post, then it could be just to thank him or, like he was meeting with the left leaders yesterday. So that is the crucial aspect. He will be meeting Thol Tirumavalavan today, but that press conference we are still waiting for. It was supposed to happen at 10. It's already 10:15 now. Each minute counts in this Game of Thrones.
Absolutely. My TVK sources are saying that, there is a possibility, a strong possibility that he could be meeting Tirumavalavan even before the press conference. But remember, Shiv, like we've been reporting since yesterday, this is a party that has been indulging in last-minute negotiations, and the negotiations are also going down the wire because VCK is also a hard negotiator. They want a lot of things from the TVK. TVK seems very desperate right now, but at the same time, they don't also want to give away the whole control, to a party like VCK as well. So there are these last-minute talks that are happening. In fact, yesterday, the Patinapakam meeting of Vijay and his close advisors went on till really very late into the night. A lot of decisions have been taken. A lot of people have been pulled up for their duties, responsibilities as well. So I think this is also TVK, waking up to the realities of, real-world politics. What I'm told is that Vijay could be meeting Tirumavalavan soon. When is it going to happen? It remains uncertain as of now.
One quick final question, Vasudha, before I let you go and, work the phones. The wisdom, the lesson really has been that, nothing is over until it's over. We saw that last night as well after Vijay had visited the Lok Bhavan. Today, things are much more muted, much more circumspect from all sides. But there is a sense that a deal could be done and the end may be in sight. Is that the sense you're getting?
I think this is also, a lot of people have been dejected, at least in the TVK. They're all very scared and they're all apprehensive, Shiv, because, now it's also about keeping all the MLAs together, right? The flock has to be kept together. We know that TVK MLAs are also in different resorts across the state. There is a decentralized management of sorts that's happening. The AIDMK MLAs are coming back today. The Congress guys have been taken to Hyderabad. So I think there is a lot of logistical planning that is happening today. But more importantly, I think, the TVK guys are waiting and watching. And I think this is also, a test of patience at many levels.
All right, Vasudha, thanks very much for that. I'll keep coming back to you. Obviously, the phone lines, the Zoom links, they're all being worked right now. And the latest is that Vijay will be meeting the VCK chief, Tol Tirumavalavan, possibly even before his press conference, which, by the way, we are still waiting on. So while we wait for that, let me tell you about the other separate drama that has been playing out, courtesy TTV Dinakaran, the AMMK chief, who arrived dramatically late last night to the governor's residence while I was there to present a letter to the governor saying that his sole MLA supports the AIADMK. The AIADMK is not apparently trying to form a government, but he said that. And the reason for that is he has filed a police complaint against Vijay's TVK saying that horse trading is going on and that there is a forged letter of support by the AMMK sole MLA for Vijay's TVK. Well, the TVK has shot back, releasing a video of the AMMK voluntarily signing a letter of support for the TVK. So is there horse trading going on? That appears to be the case. Is there coercion? We don't know. But I happened to catch Dinakaran last night. Here's that conversation. What is in your letter? What is in your letter here?
Support to AIADMK to form the new government with Edappadi K. Palanichami as the Chief Minister. This was the letter. As General Secretary, I signed, and my MLA, Mandargudi MLA, Kamaraj also signed. And my secretary went and got it signed around 6:30. When he was coming back from Pondicherry, I saw in the TVs that he has given a letter in support of TVK. I got shocked. So immediately I called the Honorable Governor's office. I got the appointment. I came and gave the letter.
You've given it to the governor?
Yes, and it's a serious allegation. He should investigate in it whether it is either it is horse trading or it's a forgery. He should find it out. Till that, he should not be allowed to.
So this letter is basically a clarification from you that there is no support from AMMK for the TVK.
Yes.
It is only for the AIADMK.
Yes, it's a clear support letter for AIADMK.
Sir, AIADMK is said to be in talks with the DMK for some kind of alliance, sir.
I don't know if we want our alliance leader, Mr. Palanichami, to become minister. And we all come to know that Vijay is not having the strength. So we will get the strength, not like this. Openly we will ask the support of other parties and we will form the
But sir, the AIADMK is not even staking claim. They are not forming any government. Why do you need to support them? What is the point of
duty, I am doing this. He may claim. If it is not possible by Vijay, he may try.
The governor...
See, my MLA is staying away. And he told that I may go to native today. So I sent and got the letter.
So the governor is not inviting Vijay for swearing in yet. He is not convinced. What do you think of that, sir? Yes,
I didn't ask anything about it.
116 seats.
See, I came and met the Honorable Governor and gave this letter.
Did you ask him anything about Vijay?
No.
Any conversation happened about Vijay?
No conversation. I seriously made a complaint that it should be investigated. In Tamil Nadu, this is the first time this kind of things are happening, and how can he, either it is a case of horse trading or it's a forgery.
Do you think the governor is obstructing Vijay, or is he acting as per the rules?
He is acting as per the rules. So immediately he gave me appointment when I asked the ADC, and I sent the copy of the letter over phone also. He called me. I came here.
Now your very small
This
parties...
is the first time I am meeting the governor.
Sir, the small parties are apparently bargaining very hard. Whether it is the VCK, IUML, which had otherwise indicated
You
support.
ask anybody about TTV Dinakaran. I am not a bargain. I am a follower of Honorable beloved leader Amma. I see we are running the party for 9 years. We have seen a lot of ups and downs. But we are standing with support with the AIDMK and NDA.
Sir, but in the AIDMK, which you're pledging support to like that, 30 of the MLAs went and sat in a resort in Puducherry.
Yeah, because
they were supposed to be pro. They were supposed to be pro Vijay. Mr. EPS had to go there to calm them down.
Why Congress they are taking the MLAs to Hyderabad? Already they have went and given the support. See, they are all sitting there because to avoid this horse trading or unnecessary disturbances. How can you say
are you saying? Are you saying that Jayalalitha's party, sir, is vulnerable to horse trading from the TVK, which is a 2-year-old party?
Sir,
that's a crazy
2-year or 100-year-old party. How can they do horse trading? The people has voted and elected this candidate, Mr. Kamaraj, against TVK and DMK.
No, this is a big allegation you're making, Mr. Dinakaran. You're saying that the TVK is attempting to horse trade and to poach MLAs.
It is a clear-cut case of horse trading. So why they have given the letter to the Honorable Governor, copy of the letter. And or it may be a forgery. He should investigate. I pray to him. It should be investigated and these kind of things should not be allowed.
Okay. Mr. Dinakaran, thank you for speaking to NDTV. So that was TTV Dinakaran of the AMMK, which is an offshoot of the AIADMK there. Basically coming here to the governor's house to present him a letter, he says, because he suddenly saw that the TVK was claiming the support of the AMMK, so he has rushed here. Incredible live situation here on NDTV. You can never predict what's going to happen in Tamil Nadu politics. I thought things were going to be pretty predictable about 5 p.m. onwards, but clearly that is not the case. And Radhika Ramaswamy is live with me from TTV Dinakaran's residence in Chennai. Radhika, we just played out that dramatic moment with the AMMK chief outside the Lok Bhavan late last night. He's apparently going to be holding some kind of a press briefing at 11 a.m. today. What's going on? This is an additional twist to this entire drama.
No doubt, dramatic twists happening since yesterday. In fact, since the last few days, and it just went up by one notch with AMMK also coming into picture. Of course, Vijay had shown a letter of support from that lone MLA of the AMMK, but TTV Dinakaran was quick to go to governor's residence, refute any sort of support to the TVK, and also making complaints against the TVK, saying that they are attempting to do horse trading and they are trying to poach their MLA. So those are the allegations that have been made. TTV Dinakaran, in your interview, told you that he is not interested in joining hands with the TVK. They are just attempting to horse trade, and that he is intact with the AIADMK, and also going ahead and sort of asking the governor to invite AIADMK to form government. Remains to be seen what this press conference will be about. Perhaps he'll reiterate the stand. He will refuse the fact that he in fact joined hands with the TVK. What went behind those doors, not entirely certain. What really drove TVK's Vijay to put that lone MLA's name? Of course, we have that video also that had been put out by TVK in which that individual MLA is seen signing that paper, writing that letter also. So yes, the war of words really brewing, but at this point, of course, if AMMK has withdrawn, has refused support, if IUML has withdrawn support, then the sole chance is for the VCK to really go ahead and give that support to TVK so that 118 magic number is formed.
It's, it's interesting because the VCK press briefing was scheduled for 10 a.m. It's currently 10:27 a.m. So a half hour has passed since that scheduled time. And, ordinarily that would not be such a big deal. But in this current unfolding Game of Thrones in Tamil Nadu, each minute means that much more bargaining, that much more negotiating, that much more power play is clearly taking place. The VCK is really giving the TVK a run to that finish line. So this is intriguing. It is becoming a T20 fight to the finish for actor Vijay. But we've got some breaking news now. The DMK has attacked the TVK, perhaps more directly than ever before. DMK spokesperson TKS Ilangovan has hit out at Vijay over government formation and what is taking place right now. He says, first get support, then approach the governor. So the DMK is taking a jibe at Vijay, presumably over the fact that Vijay has met the governor 3 times so far and not been able to prove that he has those majority numbers. So the DMK has also raked up the AMMK forgery claim and pointed a finger at the TVK. So far the DMK has been very circumspect about the TVK. This is the first direct attack by the DMK on the TVK. Take a look.
He should have first tried with other political parties, sought their support and then given a letter. But he is approaching the governor without a majority. How will he call? That is the problem. When their MLA is not supporting him, why should he give such a letter to the governor? That's wrong. No, let them prove it in the court. There is a case, there is a complaint filed, no? Let it go. Let us, we cannot comment on all these things, no? Let us see what happens in when the police investigates the complaint.
Deepak is live with us from the TVK headquarters for more. Deepak, the DMK taking a direct pot shot at the TVK, saying first get your numbers, then meet the governor. MK Stalin, the leader of the DMK, has been very sober, very mature, very circumspect about TVK. They've even put out a statement saying that the governor should invite Vijay to form the government. But clearly the DMK is sub-leadership, the spokespersons are having it their way. Direct attack on Vijay and the TVK, saying please get your stuff in order, then meet the governor.
Shiv, I'm sure you've seen all over social media, there's a lot of questions being asked as to why was Vijay in a hurry if he didn't have the numbers or if he didn't have the requisite letters. What was the need for him to really make his way to the governor's office for the 3rd time? And this has become the bone of contention, or rather, the center of all conversations on social media, at least as of now. The question here is, did Vijay have the numbers? In all probability, yes. Some of these legislators make an assurance, but during such a situation, there is hard bargaining on one hand, and now there's also a lot of pressure being built from the other parties on the other. So anybody who is supporting TVK, I'm told, is facing a lot of pressure. They're trying to break some of these, smaller parties as well, and it's happening all over. Now, the biggest question here is, what is VCK going to decide? And has the TVK really struck a deal? Is the Deputy Chief Minister position actually going to be given, or have they managed to do it without it? Or is there more surprises? Because yesterday, with reports of Tol Tirumabalan actually meeting the former Chief Minister MK Stalin, a lot of questions continue to be raised about what the next move of the VCK would be. Like you said, 10 a.m. was the plan. We are close to about 10:30 now. It is in fact 10:30, but we haven't really heard about what's really going to happen. This waiting game is really kicking up the anticipation around the TVK office as well. People are all over here waiting for that news coming in from the TVK or rather the VCK headquarters, which isn't coming anytime soon. It looks like they'll have to wait a little longer. They'll have to be patient if they want to see their Talaivar become the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu.
Deepak, stay with me. Stay with me for just a moment. I want to bring in as many of our analysts and guests on our coverage as possible, because between now and 11:15 is the new timing of the VCK press briefing. I don't know how to read the 1 hour 15-minute delay in this press briefing. It was supposed to be 10 a.m. Now it's 11:15. That can only mean there are more negotiations. Remember, Vasudha Venugopal, our political editor, just a short while ago had broken that Vijay is going to meet Tol Tirumabalan, either before or after that press briefing. So all of these moving parts of this unfolding drama are taking place in real time, and NDTV is breaking it down for you as it happens. Madhavan Narayanan, senior journalist, also joins us. Anurag Naidu continues to be with us. Madhavan, welcome. Good morning. It's a muggy, sort of rainy day here in Chennai. Hopefully, the TVK will be hoping that the rain brings with it some good news. We don't know that just yet because all eyes are on the VCK. We've just told our viewers that the VCK chief met MK Stalin late last night as well. So, a lot of moving pieces on this chessboard. It's difficult to, analyze a moving target, but I'm still going to ask you, do you think it's all going to be tied up today?
Well, I do believe so, but Shiv, I'm going to press hard on your own weather conditions. It's raining, but when it's raining in a very hot weather like you are in Chennai, it becomes very humid and the rain becomes less of a relief and more of a horribly sweaty problem. And that's exactly the predicament that Vijay is in right now. He's in a damned if I do, damned if I don't situation. Let us take a moment to say, poor chap, what a test debut, because, ये जीत भी क्या जीत है जिसमें हार नजर आ रही हो. Let me say Ghalib like. No, the point is, I have to turn my eyes today on Stalin, not because we have an hour to go and a lot can happen in an hour. But we have to call the bluff on DMK right now because 48 hours ago, Stalin had indicated in a very statesmanly way that Vijay should be allowed to form the government, let them rule for 6 months. He's not, it's very surprising because the governor is somebody we thought was on the crosshairs of Stalin because of the various previous governors' experience and in general, the historic experience of the BJP with the DMK with the Article 356 and all that. But I think...
Okay. Madhavan Narayanan, I'm just going to come back to you in just a moment. Apologize for interrupting you. I have to go to Padmaja in Bengal right now. She is standing by on the oath-taking ceremony for Suvendu Adhikari, the first BJP Chief Minister of Bengal. Padmaja, take it away.
There you can see that those breaking visuals coming in of the Prime Minister having arrived in Kolkata for that oath-taking ceremony. In fact, it's going to be a big show of strength in West Bengal as the BJP finally gets its own Chief Minister and its own government there in West Bengal. Remember, the Prime Minister during his last rally that he addressed in West Bengal had said that he would return to the state, he would return to Kolkata, but for the swearing-in ceremony when the new BJP Chief Minister of West Bengal would be sworn in. And so it is today, the Prime Minister there arriving in Kolkata for that big swearing-in ceremony. Let's go across to Padmaja. Padmaja, over to you.
मोदी जी को देखने आए हैं। क्यों देखने?
अच्छे लगते हैं देश के यशस्वी बजबज से।
बजबज तो तृणमूल का गढ़ बोला जाता है।
नहीं, अब खत्म हो गया। खत्म हो गया।
आप कितने साल से बजबज में रहते हो?
हमारा उम्र बजबज में हूँ।
अच्छा, आपको लगा था कभी भाजपा की सरकार
आएगा? जरूर आएगा। हम मार खाया है, बहुत मार खाया है।
आपको मार खाया?
हाँ, घर भागने का हुमकी दिया है।
हम लोग का घर तोड़ा, बिजनेस तोड़ा, गाड़ी तोड़ा, सारा बर्बाद कर दिया। 2 बच्चा लेके जब हम लोग से रहा, आज भी लड़ रहे हैं उसके खिलाफ, मुमताज बेगम के खिलाफ। आज वो ममता नहीं है, मुमताज बेगम है।
आपको कैसे मारा? क्योंकि आप भाजपा समर्थक हो।
हम भाजपा समर्थक है। हम बूथ में बैठते थे, हम प्रार्थी होते थे बजबज पौरसभा में, इसीलिए हमको मारा पीटा, हमारा बहुत कुछ नुकसान किया और इसीलिए हमको उसका प्रतिवाद कर रहा था। अभी भी हम वहाँ को
डर नहीं लगा नहीं छोड़ दो भाजपा?
नहीं, हम कभी
आप बताइए, आपको कभी मारपीट का सामना करना पड़ा?
हाँ, मारपीट का बाद घर भांगा, दुकान भांगा दिया, धमकी दिया,
ठीक है, धमकी दिया जी बीजेपी करके कर लेगा, मार देगा, मर्डर कर देगा, हमारा दुकान भांग गया, हमारा घर भांग गया, सब कुछ
में हम लोग ये बीजेपी पार्टी के लिए लड़े थे, तो हमारा जो सासू का दुकान है ना उसको जला दिया, पूरा हमारा घर पूरा जला दिया। हम लोग घर से नहीं था, घर से बाहर था 2 महीने 2 महीना घर में भाग गया। पैसा दे के घर आए हैं।
किसको पैसा दिया?
का जो नेता है उनको पैसा दे के हमको घर आना पड़ा।
So you know, you will hear many such stories, and for anyone who thinks that this is a paid crowd, sure, there may be people who've been mobilized from across the state, but you will find countless such people who would have come here to Kolkata almost as a show of redemption. Every person you speak to here on the streets will have a story of how they were beaten, they were threatened. This young woman says her mother-in-law's shop was broken, it was burnt, and she had to stay away from her own house for 2 months. It's only after she paid some extortion money that she was allowed back. So I guess for them it is more an emotional moment. It is almost like a sort of release when they come here today and they see coming to fruition of something that they have struggled for all of this time. In fact, you know, when we speak of struggle, a lot of workers, karyakartas, leaders of the BJP have been jailed here, have had cases filed against them, multiple FIRs. Smriti Irani, former minister, former MP, and somebody who's been a part of the campaign, a very vocal part of the campaign here. I spoke to her earlier. Here's what she told us, and then I'll cut straight across to my colleagues, Shreyasi, Manogya, and the whole team on the ground. A hard-fought campaign, and finally, the day when the first BJP chief minister in West Bengal takes oath, somebody who was the voice of the BJP in Bengali here in West Bengal, Smriti Irani. How does it feel like?
There is a sense of not only great joy, but also a very somber moment of saying thank you to families and especially karyakartas that struggled through the years and kept the faith in the Sangathan. It is also, as Home Minister yesterday paid homage to all the workers who died, it is also a reminder that they died so that we could build a very prosperous state. We could build a state where there is justice for all and appeasement of none. So yes, today is a day of great celebration, but it's also a reminder of the responsibility towards citizens in the state of West Bengal.
स्मिता रानी, मैं आपसे पूछना चाहती हूँ, एक पर्सनल लेवल पर क्या आपकी याद है जो स्ट्रगल बीजेपी ने किया है? क्योंकि अमित शाह जी ने भी बोला कि 321 कार्यकर्ताओं ने अपनी जान दी है, लेकिन पूरी पार्टी के लिए एक बहुत बड़ा संघर्ष रहा है। आप भी इस स्टेट में बार बार आई हैं, संघर्षरत रही हैं।
मेरा एक बहुत ही फेमस फोटोग्राफ कांग्रेस पार्टी यूज़ करती है सिलेंडर के साथ। वो यहाँ धर्मतला का है 2013-14 का, जहाँ पर प्रोटेस्ट के बाद मुझे भी बाकी कार्यकर्ताओं के साथ जेल हुई थी। तो आई थिंक दैट बंगाल में भारतीय जनता पार्टी का सृजन या भारतीय जनता पार्टी का उत्थान कोई अकस्मात नहीं हुआ है। बहुत लोगों की जानें गई हैं, बहुत लोगों ने बहुत प्रताड़नाएं सही हैं, लेकिन आपने सड़कों पर जो हुजूम जनता का देखा है, जो उल्लास जनता का देखा है, लिटरली ऐसा कि उनको कोई आज़ादी मिली है, वो अपने आप में संकेत है कि बंगाल में जो साधारण नागरिक है उसका कितना उत्पीड़न हो रहा था। आप खुद रिपोर्टर के नाते जब इलेक्शन का रिज़ल्ट आया उसके बाद कई परिचर्चाओं में शामिल हुई होंगी, लेकिन मैं जब अन्य शहरों में थी रिज़ल्ट के बाद, तब वहाँ लोग साधारण नागरिक आके बोल रहे थे कि वो नहीं जानते थे कि बंगाल की जनता को इतनी क्रूरता का सामना करना पड़ रहा है अथवा भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं का इतना बड़ा संघर्ष रहा है।
क्या एक लेवल पे आप डिसअपॉइंटेड भी हैं कि जो कुछ बंगाल में चल रहा था उसको वाइट वॉश किया गया? जैसे कि आपने कहा कि पता भी नहीं था ज़्यादातर लोगों को कि बंगाल में हो क्या रहा है। जब यहाँ बम फट रहे थे तो कुछ लोग उसका मीम बना रहे थे, जब लोगों को डराया जा रहा था तो उसको बैक पेजेस में ढकेल दिया।
मुझे लगता है कि एक सबसेट है कुछ लोगों का, जिन लोगों की राजनीति और जर्नलिज्म इस बात पर आधारित थी कि वो कैसे वाइट वॉश करें, लेकिन सत्य परेशान होता है, परास्त नहीं होता। और मुझे लगता है बंगाल का ये जो परिणाम है उसी का सबसे बड़ा प्रमाण है। आपने भी जर्नलिस्ट के नाते इस बात का अनुभव किया होगा कि आपने जब बंगाल में जो हिंसक वारदातें हुई या फिर हमारे कार्यकर्ताओं का जिस प्रकार से उत्पीड़न हुआ, हमारे कार्यकर्ता की जिस प्रकार से हत्या हत्या हुई उसका जब आपने भी एक कहीं शायद किसी पॉडकास्ट में वर्णन किया था, कई लोग अचंभित थे, उन्होंने सुना ही नहीं था। तो आप सच कह रही हैं कि हाँ, कुछ लोगों की पीआर मशीनरी ऐसी थी कि वो इस ब्लड बाथ को उभरने नहीं दे रहे थे, लेकिन मुझे लगता है खून सर पर चढ़कर बोला जब बंगालियों ने आकर अपने लोकतांत्रिक अधिकार का इस्तेमाल कर भाजपा की सरकार बनाने में योगदान दिया।
अभिषेक बैनर्जी ने कहा था कि 4 मई के बाद 12 बजे के बाद बीजेपी यहाँ पर रह करके दिखाए, क्या कहेंगे आप?
मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि ये प्रश्न मुझसे एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में पूछा गया, तब मैंने कहा था कि शेर पर निर्भर करता है वो गीदड़ को कब पलटकर जवाब दे। लेकिन होम मिनिस्टर ने खुद जब उनसे ये प्रश्न पूछा गया तो बड़ी ग्रेसफुली कहा कि राजनीति में बहुत सारे लोग बहुत सारी बातें बोलते हैं, मैं उसको उत्तर नहीं देना चाहता। तो जब होम मिनिस्टर ने इतनी ग्रेस दिखाई है तब ऐसे व्यक्ति के ऊपर जवाब मैं क्या दूँ, जनता ने ही जवाब दे दिया है।
शुभेंदु अधिकारी टीएमसी से आए हैं, आज मुख्यमंत्री बन रहे हैं। लोग कह रहे हैं कि ये जिस तरीके से अलग अलग राज्यों में बीजेपी का कांग्रेसीकरण हो रहा है, यहाँ पर टीएमसीफिकेशन हो गया।
शुवेंदु दा ने भारतीय जनता पार्टी के संगठन को अपने योगदान से सींचा भी है। शुवेंदु दा ने यहाँ पर हमारे कार्यकर्ता, हमारे नेतृत्व के साथ संघर्ष भी किया है। आज की जो जीत है उसमें भी उनका बहुत बड़ा योगदान रहा है। इसलिए अपने ही पार्लियामेंट्री बोर्ड को सेकेंड गेस करना, अपने ही नेतृत्व को ओछा दिखाना, ये मुझे नहीं लगता भाजपा के किसी भी कार्यकर्ता का संस्कार है। ये मानना होगा कि शौमिक दा और पूरी जो हमारी इकाई है पश्चिम बंगाल की, उन लोगों ने बहुत प्रयास किए, बहुत संघर्ष किया, बड़ा परिश्रम किया और ये सर्वसम्मति से लिया गया निर्णय है। तो एक कार्यकर्ता के नाते न सिर्फ निर्णय की हमें सराहना करनी है, लेकिन एक आम नागरिक के नाते भी भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने एक सामूहिक निर्णय लिया है और उस निर्णय को हम लोग बंगाल की प्रगति के लिए समर्पित कर रहे हैं।
Okay, my colleagues Shreyasi, Raman and Tanushka are all joining us live. But before I go across to them, I want to show you Tinku ji, who has also travelled to Kolkata with a t-shirt of Narendra Modi. And then on the back, he's got Operation Sindoor over here. So, rife with symbolism, everything is a Tinku ji. कितने साल से हो आप?
20 साल से ज़्यादा।
20 साल से भाजपा में?
भाजपा में।
क्यों भाजपा आपने ज्वाइन की?
हम भाजपा में इसलिए पहले हिंदू का है, हिंदू का है। ये 3 तारीख को जो था हमारे घर में आके बल गया, 4 तारीख आएगा तो हमारा घर तोड़ देगा तृणमूल पार्टी।
Okay, so you heard his reasoning there. He says, I'm a Hindu, so I'm in the BJP. Shreyasi, coming across to you, I think a very, very poignant memorial has also been put up. In the last couple of days, since the 4th of May, we've heard the BJP speak again and again of the 321 Karyakartas. And for the first time, a number has been put to it. When you hear all of these stories of people who are streaming into the city, 321 people lost their lives in the years leading up to the BJP forming its first government in West Bengal, in political violence. They were killed, they were shot, but there are countless others who still were injured, their properties destroyed. Still, we do not know their names. And now a memorial at Brigade Parade Ground has been put up to all of those Karyakartas. Shreyasi.
Absolutely, and Padmaja, yesterday also when Suvendu Adhikari was addressing the legislative party meeting after his name was officially announced as the Chief Minister of West Bengal, he remembered them because the BJP has fought tooth and nail against the Trinamool Congress. There has been post-poll violence, there has been political violence, something that is entrenched in West Bengal's politics. But today, all roads lead to the Brigade Parade Ground. It's a historic day in West Bengal politics and in India's political history. For the first time, the BJP is forming government here in West Bengal since independence. And you know, people, you can see carrying the cutouts of Narendra Modi. Dada, कहाँ लेके जा रहे हो मोदी जी को?
जय श्री राम।
कहाँ लेके जा रहे हो आप मोदी जी को?
ब्रिगेड मैदान में मोदी जी का पास में मोदी जी को पहुंचाना है, इसीलिए हम लोग बजबज से आए हैं। मोदी जी को प्यार करते हैं। मोदी जी मेरा देश का नेता है, बड़ा प्रधानमंत्री है। जिंदाबाद। थैंक यू।
शुभेंदु अधिकारी कैसे होंगे सीएम के तौर से?
हम लोगों के लिए तो अच्छा ही लगता है, क्योंकि एक ऐसा चीफ मिनिस्टर चाहिए बंगाल में जो बंगाल टाइगर की तरह है, मतलब कुछ कर सकता है ऐसे। और शुभेंदु अधिकारी इसके लिए बहुत अच्छा आदमी है, वो कर सकता है कुछ।
कभी ओथ टेकिंग सेरेमनी देखा है आपने ब्रिगेड परेड ग्राउंड में?
इतना बड़ा समारोह आज तक नहीं देखा है, ये इतिहास होने वाला है।
All right, there you can see Prime Minister Narendra Modi has arrived for that oath-taking ceremony. History being made there in West Bengal, and today Suvendu Adhikari will be sworn in as the first BJP Chief Minister of West Bengal. The Prime Minister in his last rally in West Bengal had told the people there that I will return now after the polling has taken place, when BJP will form government, and for the swearing in of the BJP Chief Minister. And so it is. There you can see the Prime Minister arriving there to a very packed brigade ground, and in fact it's the first time, we're told, after several years, that you have the public there for the swearing in ceremony of the Chief Minister. Last 3 terms of Mamata Banerjee's, it was not open to the public in this manner, is what we've been told. And now, as you can see, massive crowds there for that swearing in ceremony of the Chief Minister. The Prime Minister arrived just a short while ago, and Suvendu Adhikari will be taking oath. Let's return now to my colleague Padmaja, who is there on the ground. Padmaja, over to you.
Thanks very much, Gargi. And yes, the Prime Minister has landed at Brigade Parade ground. Shreyasi was just telling us about, the memorial that has been set up to the Karyakartas who lost their life, the BJP Karyakartas who lost their life. Many, many cutouts. I was speaking to some leaders yesterday, and they said as many as 1 lakh supporters. We actually were waiting for our passes yesterday, and it was a scrum. It was madness. This was literally, I saw people who were 50, 60 years old. They had come from Nadia, they had come from tribal areas, they had come from the farthest northern areas, Cooch Behar, and they said, हम 50 साल से कार्य करता है, हम 20 साल से कार्य करता है, अब यहाँ पे swearing in हो रही है, हमें तो पास मिलना ही चाहिए. So that is the kind of madness that we saw yesterday. So you can imagine, when all of these people here, everyone wants this one pass which they get from the party to be able to enter the Brigade Parade ground. And the Prime Minister is now on his way there in a sort of a road show. I believe Tanushka is also tracking the Prime Minister. Tanushka, a full house. You've got the who's who, all the chief ministers of NDA-ruled states, the deputy CMs, Chandrababu Naidu, Eknath Shinde, everyone here. We've seen such shows of strength earlier, but this one hits different. Tanushka.
This one is definitely different and historic, Padmaja, as the BJP has created history this time round by forming their government for the first time in Bengal. I was just here, right here where Prime Minister's chopper landed just a couple of minutes back, and his convoy headed to the Brigade Parade ground. And as you were also mentioning, all the top wigs of the BJP are present right now inside the Brigade Parade ground, be it union ministers, chief ministers and the Prime Minister as well. Earlier in the morning, I was traveling with Suvendu Adhikari right from his residence right up till here to parade ground. So of course he's also inside, all set and ready to take oath as the Chief Minister of Bengal. He's somebody who's been in politics very young, of course started off with the Trinamool Congress and was Mamata Banerjee's right-hand aide, and now he is with the BJP. He's going to be a BJP Chief Minister for Bengal. It's indeed a historic day, and a lot of culture and tradition of Bengalis are also completely on display right where you are at in Brigade Parade ground. This is also another important thing to note, that today is Rabindra Jayanti. It's the 165th birthday of Rabindranath Tagore. So a day very carefully chosen by the BJP for the oath-taking ceremony.
I have to say, in all of this, what I find the most amusing is all the most vocal ladies who are here. Early in the morning, they have woken up. आज काम वाम करके आए हो आप यहाँ पे? सुबह सुबह सारा घर का काम निपटाया?
सारा काम करके खाना बना के आए।
जल्दी उठना पड़ा?
हाँ, 4 बजे भोर को उठ गया।
4 बजे उठ के यहाँ पे आए।
सैंडल चप्पल भी मेरा टूट गया, मोदी जी को देखने के लिए दौड़ दौड़ के आए।
चप्पल तोड़ के भी मोदी जी को देखने आ गए?
बहुत खुश है।
क्यों भाई?
बहुत खुशी है, प्रधानमंत्री बन गया ना, इसीलिए। वो दूसरे देश से यहाँ 7 देश से जीते हैं, इसीलिए।
शुवेंदु अधिकारी को जानते हो?
हाँ,
क्या जानते हो उनके बारे में?
उनके बारे में ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं जानते, बस टीवी में देखे हैं।
अच्छा।
हाँ।
तो फिर यहाँ पर बंगाल में सरकार बनी है, पता है भाजपा की? तो क्या उसका महत्व है आपके लिए? क्या फर्क पड़ता है आपकी जिंदगी में?
अच्छा ही होगा।
क्या अच्छा होगा?
जो होगा अच्छा ही होगा देश के लिए।
बताइए आंटी, क्यों आए हो आप यहाँ पे?
मोदी सरकार को देखने आए हैं।
मोदी सरकार।
हाँ।
ठीक है, let me get in, and Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay and Jayanto Ghoshal and Mahua Chatterjee, all of us joining us live on this morning. And the significance of this day cannot be underscored enough. The fact that you've got Jayanto Da, this entire event happening on a day when it is Rabindra Jayanti. On Rabindra Jayanti, very well thought out, and I just want to point out the backdrop of this entire stage where the Prime Minister is going to be sitting, where all the NDA Chief Ministers are going to be there, and where the oath is going to be administered to Suvendu Adhikari and the other ministers. You've got Rabindranath Tagore, you've got Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, all of them depicted on that massive stage at Brigade Parade Ground. Jayanto Da.
Exactly. Padmaja, today, this is a celebration day of Bengalis because it is Pochishe Boishak. So the birthday of Rabindranath Tagore. We used to go to Jorasako, we used to go to Santiniketan, all these places where, today, this is a very conscious decision, and Prime Minister announced, the head of the state, because the campaign of the opposition was that you are disconnecting the Bengali identity and it is an invasion of Hindi and Hindu nationalism, all these things. Now, the most interesting part is that since morning, I am listening Tagore songs in that area. And now, on that Tagore Day, that means with Modi guarantee, now you are connecting the mainstream politics. The first time after 77, CPM was there, TMC was there, the Prime Minister was not their party. It's not CPM's Prime Minister, it was not TMC's Prime Minister. When Siddharth Shankar Rai was the last Congress Chief Minister, it was Congress Prime Minister and Congress Chief Minister. Now, this federal unity of the Prime Minister and Chief Minister is not only double engine. You are connecting with the Bengali identity also now. So now this lady you are talking to, she was saying that Modi ji power mein aaya. Matlab, I was remembering that when Indira Gandhi was there, people used to come and used to say, Rajiv Gandhi ko bhi dekh ke bolta tha ki I have come to see Indira Gandhi. So this myth now in Bengal, I think after Indira Gandhi, was there. Now Narendra Modi has achieved that mythology in the Bengali psyche also. We have to accept it. I mean, now the Suvendu government...
You say that it's almost a... It's almost a myth-like, a presence that the Prime Minister has for a lot of people, like you mentioned, not just in West Bengal, but in many states that one travels to across the election. Here also the binary was Didi or Dada, where Dada was Narendra Modi, not Suvendu Adhikari in popular discourse. Let me bring in Mahua Chatterjee and Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay as well. But very quickly, I want to ask this gentleman, because he's been standing very patiently and quietly. Kidhar se aaye hain?
हम ठाकुरपुर से आए हैं, बेहाला।
अच्छा, बेहाला से आए हैं। वहाँ पे भाजपा जीत गई
एकदम।
पहले वहाँ टीएमसी थी ना?
यस, राज करती थी।
पर कैसे फिर भाजपा आई?
बस भाई वोट देने से अच्छी तरह जो आर्मी था ना, वो हम लोग मतदान नहीं दे पा सकते, इसलिए अब नरेंद्र मोदी जी, शुभेंदु अधिकारी, दिलीप घोष हो, तो जो आर्मी दिया था ना, तो मतदान रात 9 बजे तक हुआ था, इसलिए हम लोग जीत गए।
हाँ। ये बताइए, आप हमेशा यहाँ से बंगाल में ही रहे हैं, बंगाली हैं आप?
हाँ, আমি বাঙালি আছি, কিন্তু আমরা গর্বিত যে আজকের আমরা যে 2021 যে নির্বাচন হয়েছিল সেই
मैं इसलिए पूछ रही हूँ क्योंकि कहते हैं कि भाजपा को तो बंगाली वोट ही नहीं देते।
नहीं, सब वोट नहीं देते, हम लोग देते हैं। हम लोग पहले से बीजेपी था, अभी रहेंगे, हर जीवन रहेंगे। मोदी जी जिंदाबाद।
नाम बता दीजिए।
मेरा नाम अक्षय कुमार प्रामाणिक है, हम कलकत्ता बेहाला से है, ठाकुरपुर से।
बहुत अच्छा लगा आपसे अक्षय जी मिल करके, बहुत मंडल जी आपसे भी अच्छा लगा मिल करके। अंकल आए हैं यहाँ पे,
बहुत दरकार छिलो, पाल्टे गेছে।
पलट गया
पलट गया।
नाम क्या है थोड़ा हिंदी बोलिए
लक्ष्मीकांत पात्र लक्ष्मीकांत पात्र
लक्ष्मीकांत पात्र जी किधर से आए हैं आप लक्ष्मी जी किधर से आए हैं आप
इधर जाएगा।
अच्छा कलकत्ता से ही है क्या देखने आए हैं
ओए मोदी जी को अमित शाह जी को शुभेंदु जी को यही सब।
Let's talk a little bit about Suvendu Adhikari. So you've heard a lot of people here from across the board.
পিসি ভাইপো সব চুরি করে শেষ করে দিয়েছে পিসি ভাইপো চুরি করে সব শেষ করে দিয়েছে।
So what this gentleman is talking about, Mamata Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee, saying that there was organized loot happening over here. You see a lot of these angry reactions, Mahua Chatterjee, and this is but natural, but it's also symptomatic of why we saw these kind of results. You know, people talk about polarization, about religious identity, but it was just a combination of everything coming together and purely gauging by the responses we are seeing here. Somebody comes here because they feel they identify with the Hindutva cause. Somebody else was beaten. They were shamed, they were ghettoized for voting for the BJP, and somebody else felt that there was just too much corruption. Mahua Chatterjee.
Yes, I just heard that. Thank you, Padmaja. See, corruption, yes, there was too much corruption is what people have been saying. That has been resonating from before the election campaigns started. So these are usual pre-election and post-election issues that always come to the surface. But which also means that the new government, the first time since independence, that is since West Bengal has got a BJP government, they have really a tall order to stand for, because they will have to prove their zero tolerance to the corruption charges that they are talking about. And today, of course, is a day of celebration. But if we go back in time, I mean, whether it was Suvendu Adhikari and other leaders from the Trinamool Congress originally, when they shifted in 2020, before 2021 elections, there were allegations against them too. So we don't know, but corruption is always an issue. It became an issue then, it became an issue now, and it's going to remain as an issue until the new government is seen, Suvendu Adhikari's new government is seen to be taking real measures to arrest them.
So the Prime Minister there is now walking among people on the stage. We've got all the leaders being welcomed one by one. I think we already have JP Nadda, Rajnath Singh, all of them present there. If I'm not mistaken, I think Nitin Nabeen has also been called up. Of course, there will be some curiosity. I don't know if I can see very well. What is the Prime Minister wearing, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay? Because there'll be some curiosity about that as well. On the day when the BJP won that mandate, he decided to wear a Bengali dhoti and what is called a Punjabi. The kurta is called a Punjabi. Is he going to choose that kind of outfit today as well? Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay. And also on a serious note, what are the few names you think come to mind of who could be in Team Suvendu? Because it's all very well talking about, you know, how this is a Hindutva resurgence, etc. But serious business, serious governance needs to be done as well. What are some names that come to your mind? Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay.
Well, starting with what Mr. Modi is wearing, you use the word Punjabi. It's actually the way the Bengalis pronounce it is Punjabi. Bengali has a very peculiar, typical pronunciation style. So it's Punjabi. And I do not know, I am not a historian of sartorial trends of India. So I do not know whether there is any connection with Punjab in it, how it came into Bengal's vocabulary, I wouldn't really know. Well, Mr. Modi, I was just talking to Mahua Chatterjee before we came into this program. He would possibly qualify to be a contender for, winning a national fancy dress competition. We can actually go back in history and actually list out the number of uniforms that he's worn, dresses he's worn from various states. Your point about which names come to the mind joining Suvendu Adhikari really in a state of speculation. So I would rather, hold on for some time before discussing names which are who actually take oath. But there is something very important which I think we must take note of as a very important political event, and that too that this oath taking is happening on Pochishe Boishakh, which is supposed to be the Tithi wise by the Bengali calendar, the birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore. Now here is where a political paradox comes in, because throughout his life, till the time Rabindranath Tagore was alive till the early 40s, nationalism, the debate over what constitutes India, Indian nationhood, and nationalism of the country, there were clearly two streams. One was what was propagated by the political, ancestry of the BJP, if I can actually say the RSS was already established by them, which was talking about cultural nationalism. For them, it was essentially culture which determined the nation. Whereas there was a different kind of nationalism which was promoted by Gandhi, Nehru. It can be called some kind of an inclusive territorial nationalism is what they talked about. Not really looking at the Savarkar's concepts of Punya Bhumi being the ultimate decoder. Now in 1937, when the major debate over within the Congress arose over the use of Vande Mataram, Rabindranath Tagore's opinion was sought, and he clearly said that after the first paragraph, there are political problems with that. He actually mentioned that it appeared to be anti-Muslim, and so he suggested that it not be used in Congress functions, and that is why it was not done. Yeah. And thereafter, when it was adopted as the national song, only the first paragraph was done. Now, in the last 3 months, Vande Mataram's 150 years has been celebrated by the government of India in a big way. Vande Mataram has been, restored, and just 3 days after, in fact, the first decision of the cabinet after the West Bengal decision was to amend the Prevention of Insults to National Honours Act, which gave Vande Mataram an equal status, in terms of insult with Jana Gana Mana. So I really want to see, how long the BJP is comfortable with Rabindranath Tagore, what he stood for, because sooner or later people are going to start raising things which is at conflict with the understanding of the nation and nationhood between Rabindranath Tagore's philosophy and the BJP's. This is something which we need to keep in mind. I am not making a political statement or anything like that.
Yes, and wonder if, there is going to be that conflict in the days to come. Before you weigh in on that, Jayantoda, anything that you're hearing about the names, because a few of the names which are doing the rounds, and other than the obvious ones, we've obviously heard of Agnimitra Paul, we've heard of Dilip Ghosh, we've heard of Shankar Ghosh as well. But some of the other names are very interesting. For example, you've got the name of Arjun Singh, of Rupa Ganguly, of Dr. Indraneel Khan, of we even have Shapan Das Gupta. So there has to be a mix. Obviously, people are talking about the various regions being balanced, but you also need a huge dose of experience in a cabinet of a government that is going to be full of first-time and second-time MLAs. Remember that all these MLAs who have this time been voted in, half of them are first-time MLAs. They've got massive margins. The average margin of victory is 28,000 for the BJP this time around. They have more than doubled their tally, in fact, close to triple their tally. So you've got about 50 to 60% MLAs who are going to be first-timers. Who are the names you think are good choices? We won't say they are likely, but they would be good choices for this Council of Minister for Team Suvendu. Jayantoda.
You have given me the hardest task. If you are headmistress, I am a very bad student now. Suvendu Adhikari is the only person who was minister earlier. Otherwise, no MLA today in BJP, they don't have any previous experience in West Bengal cabinet. So, and the Prime Minister and our Home Minister style of functioning, that it is very unpredictable, for journalists. Nowadays, it is very difficult to make exclusive stories on cabinet formation. But the guesswork
in there, because we were just discussing the BJP's possible conflict with the kind of nationalism that was espoused by Rabindranath Tagore, and the Prime Minister right now is paying tribute to Rabindranath Tagore on his birth anniversary. Yes, please carry on, Jayantoda.
This is very, I mean, good symbolism. Anyway, so now what name you are saying, that North Bengal, South Bengal, they have to make a balance. So, and the Durgapur Asansol area, this is very important area for BJP and the cosmopolitan area. So Agnimitra Paul, although she is Bengali, but represents this South Bengal, and from North Bengal, maybe Shankar Ghosh. Shankar Ghosh is a man who, he was in Communist Party. He was in CPM, and now I mean there is no antigen antibody problem because he has completely assimilated with the BJP's culture. It's very interesting, like Suvendu Adhikari also. So now Shankar Ghosh maybe or one Rajbangshi person should be in the cabinet. One Matua and Rajbangshi representation, and not necessary that he will be a celebrity, he will be a very known character, I mean known to Delhi. So it can be very characters, those who don't know, I mean. But you are saying that Shapon Dasgupta, you know, the Shapon Dasgupta, the discussion is that he may be an education minister because he has an educational background, theoretical background. But he was in Rajya Sabha, so he has experience of the parliamentary proceedings, what actually useful in this cabinet also. So I think these are the this sort of characters.
One more name I'm hearing, and if you would just weigh in on that as well, Shruti Shekhar Goswami. You know, he's been elected from Navadweep. Of course, that is the place which is, he's a Hindu Dharm Pracharak. He's been associated with the Sudarshan Seva Sangh and the symbolism of Navadweep itself. So all of these things also going to play a very big role. Jayantoda.
Yeah, Navadweep is just like Varanasi of Bengal. Navadweep is the ancient city of not only the Vaishnavites philosophy. Navadweep is a typical Varanasi. It's an ancient city of the civilization. And you can say that all the Hindu sects, in fact the Shakti Sadhana, also it happened in Navadweep. It's not necessary that, but it is Chaitanya Dev's birthplace is Navadweep. And it's a highly connected with BJP's national, what Nilanjan explained, that there is a narrative, counter narrative, whatever it is. Now Bengalis mindset, if you want to touch, like Thakur Sri Ramakrishna also used to say with Sri Chaitanya, our Vaishnavism is not Tirupati, our Vaishnavism is not Lord Vishnu, our is Chaitanya Dev. This Gaudiya Vaishnavism is, Navadweep is the character city. So it is very important to keep Navadweep, and you know, this Jagannath Dev also, actually philosophically it is connected with Navadweep.
And as Jayantoda said, the Varanasi of West Bengal. Another very important thing that I want to point out, and it just occurred to me, you know, when we were looking at these pictures of who all the Prime Minister is greeting, and I want to bring you in on this, Mahua Moitra. You know, very often for the last 12, 13 years, it has been said, after Modi who? After Modi who in the BJP. Now take a look at all the leaders who are present on stage right now. You've got Amit Shah, Rajnath Singh, but then you've got a younger group of people. You've got Devendra Fadnavis, you've got Yogi Adityanath, not from his party, from the RLD, you've got Jayant Chaudhary. Smriti Irani, despite not being a member of parliament, is also there on stage. What these people have in common, Eknath Shinde, Their average age, these are people became Chief Minister, Yogi Adityanath in his 40s, Devendra Fadnavis in his 40s, Eknath Shinde in his early 50s. So you've got perhaps on stage right now, the visuals that you see, the next generation of the BJP right there. So if you're looking at the next step of the BJP's move in its expansion across the country, you're also seeing in one picture the next generation of this party.
Thank you. Padmaja, you have actually opened up a hornet's nest because if you are saying that who after Modi and all these leaders who you just named and who some of them are there on the stage in Kolkata, maybe the part of that bandwagon. But the point is that they all
of the BJP, just to be clear.
Yeah, of the BJP.
So that the hornets can go back to their nest.
Yes, of course. So, but the point is, on a serious note, they are all from very different states. So whether they, whether they fit in to a national image yet, has to be seen, and has to be seen in the sense some of them do have the potential to lift themselves up to the national stage, which Narendra Modi himself had done. He was Chief Minister of Gujarat and then he moved to Delhi and did it very gradually and firmly. So I don't know whether that process is on in some of these leaders already, and people do talk. I mean, people say whoever is UP Chief Minister, there is a sort of a trend. There used to be a trend, which is why Modi himself also got himself elected from Uttar Pradesh. So in that sense, I mean, Yogi Adityanath probably, is first in line and things like that. But yes, I mean, there was a time when in the BJP, which started in the 80s by, leaders like Vajpayee and Advani and others, they created a very strong line of second-rung leaders. Now, in this Modi's BJP, where the earlier era is over, and actually Modi is actually part of that second rung of leaders created by Vajpayee and Advani regime and time. So now, whether the next generation is being created or not has to be seen really, because to Modi himself has transformed into a very big leader. So to come up to that kind of strength as a leader, to hold that kind of strength, it's not easy, and it's not easy under a powerful leader like Modi and Amit Shah, and so whether they are actually capable of...
Is the next generation being blooded? Take a look at these visuals on the screen, on the stage, and I think the people get a fair idea of what the next generation is going to be like. Also, let's talk about the symbolism and whether there is really that cultural clash that Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay was speaking of earlier. On the one hand, you've got Rabindranath Tagore, you have got Ishwar Chand Vidyasagar, you've got all the symbolism from Bengali culture there right on stage. On Rabindra Jayanti, this swearing in is taking place. You've got the Dhakais, you've got the Dhak players there in the crowd. You've got women in traditional wear singing songs. You've got Rabindra Sangeet, which has been blaring from loudspeakers across the city, close to the brigade ground since morning. And then on the other hand, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, on stage you've got people like Himanta Biswa Sarma, who in this election said, I do unabashed politics of Hindutva. Yes, I talk about giving money to women, I talk about developing infrastructure, but I do unabashed politics of Hindutva. Then you have Yogi Adityanath, and now you have a Suvendu Adhikari, who famously touched Yogi Adityanath's feet and is today here in a saffron kurta. So what happens when these two collide? Or do these two really collide, or they coexist together?
Well, the first thing, you have talked about a large number of issues. I think it is very important for us to underscore the cultural and the religious diversity of West Bengal. Jayanta was also talking about, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying, about the Vaishnavism, that this Vaishnavism is different from the other forms of Vaishnavism. It in fact reflects the diversity even within this entire spectrum of Hinduism. Within Bengal, we find so many subcultures also, that is also equally important. If you just look at it in terms of, the number of, dialects which are also there. I'm talking about, going back to the United Bengal, from the British era, if you actually look at it, because Bengal at one point always had this feeling of Bengal and Bengalis had always, agonied over partition. I think that phase is over. Now there is a greater amount of animosity towards the other community, especially the minorities. So the BJP's biggest challenge in the next few years is going to be as to how to ensure that its heightened Hindutva narrative does not lead to social, loss of tranquility, social violence, intermittent, sporadic incidents happening all over the country. Because the moment it happens, then the basic reason for which the BJP has been voted, that is jobs. Jobs will not come in unless there is investment. So that is going to stop, because if people start looking at West Bengal as a political risk in terms of investments, then that is going to lead to a lot of problems for the BJP. And then once again, the same voters will start looking elsewhere for those same things for which they voted the BJP. But for the moment, displaying this diversity is very important. And that's what we should actually, really praise, that this now should become part of the political psyche of the BJP in West Bengal.
Jobs, chakri and industry. It's a refrain that you would have heard continuously, almost non-stop over the last couple of months. And you're absolutely right. And that is why something that caught my eye in the Telegraph, in fact, or in the Statesman day before yesterday, they said that central ministries and the Niti Aayog have been asked to work on a long-term blueprint aimed at industrial and economic rejuvenation of West Bengal. And Ashok Lahiri, of course, he's a well-known economist. He's a former finance ministry top official. This time around, he was not fielded in the elections, even though he had won his seat last time around. And he is set to take charge at the Niti Aayog. And preliminary consultations on the contours of a possible reindustrialization roadmap for Bengal, with an emphasis on manufacturing, revival, logistics, urban infrastructure, riverine trade and employment generation has already started. So the Niti Aayog has already been tasked with preparing a roadmap over the next, and you've got Ashok Lahiri right at the helm of it. So he will know what Bengal needs. But even then, some 5 talking points have already been chalked out. Jayantoda, would you want to talk more about this, about what lies ahead?
This is a very
many interesting decisions were taken even before the results came in. Jayantoda.
No, this is very, 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 Ashok, I think very important decision. We could not realize before because we were thinking that he could be a very good finance minister in Kolkata. But now in Delhi, Bengal needs more. Ashok Lahiri, we need more in Delhi, because he will be now the nodal person of Bengal. Now, I will not use the word double engine, because it has been very exploited word now politically. But it's a very important federal cooperation, which is constitutionally we need, and there is a very constitutional fault line.
Bengal needs more than double engine. It needs to fire on all cylinders, multiple engines.
So, this time, this Ashok Lahiri, he was the architect of the economic agendas also for the futuristic, what will be the BJP's future plan of action. That also he made. Incidentally, he became the Niti Aayog on that same day when Chief Minister Suvendu Adhikari was also elected yesterday. This is a very interesting convergence. But this time, the most important thing, what Niranjan is saying, that the possibility of, there is a hope actually, that we will get some center support to mobilize our economic distress. Because Bengal, the per capita income, we are down. our, not only GDP, but the joblessness and the heavy industries also, it is important. It is not only the trading. Bengal is very famous for their trading, not heavy industries. And the problem is the land acquisition also. And land acquisition, without land acquisition, it is difficult to get a very big land. We faced a major problem in Singur time. So I think this industrialization, not from flight of capital, deindustrialization to industrialization, that BJP is a huge responsibility and the priority. And now BJP will concentrate on that. I think the cultural conflict, what Nilanjan is saying, that apprehension always can be there, that the conflict of Bengali culture and the heterogeneity, and there is a monolithic approach. I think that BJP will start a Bengal chapter of BJP in West Bengal. Like, the McDonald's, when it comes to India, they give you paneer burger, because it's the appropriate technology for India. So this sort of, I will finish this thing only giving one example. In Tripura, before coming to power, the Bharat Mata's photo, the RSS idea was there, and BJP implemented that it was a tribal lady with the tribal dress, and the face was of the Bharat Mata. And maybe that is some sort of tribal face.
Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay wants to make a point.
So this is the
Bharat Mata.
Yeah, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay.
There's been a very important development in terms of the cultural religious symbolism that the BJP and its affiliated organizations within Sangh Parivar do. There has been a very planned effort at creating a fused image of Bharat Mata with Durga. A temple is being built in Nagpur, for which the Shilanyas was performed by Mohan Bhagwat, the Sarsang Chalak, with the top BJP leaders of Maharashtra. Devendra Fadnavis was also there. And it was pointed out that this idol will be having 18 hands, 10 of and 8 of the two goddesses. So they are being fused. A special effort is definitely being made that Durga gets incorporated into both nationalism as a symbol of, rather let me put it this way, cultural nationalism is being fused with religious nationalism through this new idol of a new goddess of the 21st century.
But,
and several temples are to be built after the one comes up in Nagpur.
No, I understand, but in this time, I have seen BJP got huge tribal. Yeah, just one point. That in this time, in this election, I have found, I visited the tribal areas. BJP got huge vote from the tribal, and I didn't know. At this time, I found there is a Sadi, Sarna, Mahatos. These are all different sects and different gods also. Sadi, Sarna, there is a conflict. And now BJP is getting huge support from these communities. They are worshipping stone. They are worshipping something completely animalism. So I think this time BJP understands that inclusivist approach to connect the Bengali identity and the diversity of the Bengal ethnic. Because Bengal is a mixed, I think Nilanjan will accept that we are not that pure Aryan legacy. It's a Aryan, non-Aryan, everything. It's a mixed ethnic entity. That's why we have more pluralism.
I want to add something.
And I think BJP also understands, and BJP will address that.
Yes. I want to add something to what you said. When you spoke about the tribal areas, yes, in the tribal areas,
you visited.
One place you've got the north, which has got. Yes, exactly. So in the north, where you've got one massive tribal belt, the BJP has swept all of it. And the second area where you've got a massive tribal belt, Jangal Mahal, you've swept all of that as well. The BJP has swept that entire area. In fact, of the seats which have got a majority of Dalits, just a little bit of data point for our viewers, 68 seats which are categorized as SC seats, TMC could win just 17 this time. BJP got 51. Tribal seats, total of 16, BJP got all 16 of them. And anecdote. Because when I was traveling to Purulia, which again is tribal dominated, I was very surprised to see a large number of Hanuman temples. Not Ram temples, not anything else, Hanuman temples after every 2 kilometers. And then they told me that in this area, you've got the Ayodhya Hills in Purulia. And you've got a Sita Kund there, where in exile, Ram, Sita and Lakshman were supposed to have come there. And Sita ji, she drank out of the Sita Kund. And all the people who visit the temple, who visit Ayodhya Hills, are all tribals. So perhaps, the disconnect between a tribal identity and the Hindu identity is not as stark as one would think, was my experience in Purulia. Very quickly, I would like to get a few words in from people who now want to be heard. एक second. आराम से. कहाँ से आए? ठीक है, कहाँ से आए?
कौंटाई से आया है।
कौंटाई, अरे शुवेंदु जी के घर से आए?
शुवेंदु से घर से आए।
आप तृणमूल के टाइम से थे उनके साथ?
नहीं।
सच बताओ।
हाँ।
तो पहले वो तृणमूल पर कौंटाई से लड़ करके गए थे 20 साल पहले, अब देखो भाजपा के मुख्यमंत्री बन गए।
हाँ, बहुत खुश है।
बहुत खुश है। क्या चाहते हो सुवेंदु अधिकारी से?
बहुत काम होगा, सब कुछ होगा, सुरक्षा रहेगा, सब कुछ मिलेगा।
Quick backstory: Suvendu Adhikari, for the first time, was elected to the Legislative Assembly of West Bengal on a Trinamool ticket in 2006, way back in 2006, exactly 20 years ago. His father, Shishir Adhikari, and he comes from a family of politicians. His brothers are into politics, 2 of his brothers. He himself is now the Chief Minister. His father, Shishir Adhikari, originally was in the Congress, then moved to the Trinamool Congress, and he was Mamata Banerjee's right-hand man in the Nandigram Shingur agitation. And look where things have come now. आप सब भी कौंटाई से आए हैं?
हम हुगली से आए।
अच्छा, हुगली में तो फिर एक ममता बनर्जी का गढ़ माना जाता था।
नहीं, वो
हुगली ने क्यों वोट किया है?
पूरा सुपरा साफ हो गया, पूरा तृणमूल का पूरा सुपरा साफ हो गया।
ममता बनर्जी ने चोरी नहीं कर पाया, क्योंकि पिछले 15 साल ममता बनर्जी चोरी करके बंगाल में आ चुका है था। अभी बंगाल की जनता जाग चुका है, जो वो चोरी अब नहीं कर पाया। इसलिए
आगे की बात करते हैं, क्या चाहते हैं आप इस
सरकार से? हम हमारे जो बंगाल में सुरक्षा, नारियों का सुरक्षा, युवा का जो काम, जो यहाँ का जो सबसे बड़ा बेकार का प्रॉब्लम है, वो जो 1 करोड़ का जो नौकरी का दावा वो मिलेगा हमें। इसीलिए हम भारतीय जनता पार्टी को बंगाल में ले आई। ये श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी का भूमि है।
अच्छा, ठीक है, क्या चाहते हो? जल्दी बताइए, क्या चाहते हैं?
इंसाफ चाहते हैं, निर्भया का इंसाफ चाहते हैं। इन 10 वर्षों में जितने भी बीजेपी कार्यकर्ता का मृत्यु हुआ, उसका लिए इंसाफ चाहते हैं। शपथ ले और कारनामा चालू करे। जो हम लोग कार्यकर्ता लोग यहाँ आए हैं, इंसाफ के लिए आए हैं। ये 10 वर्षों में बहुत बीजेपी कार्यकर्ता का मृत्यु हुआ।
Okay, so you'll hear a lot of this. चलो जल्दी जाओ, शुरू होने वाला शपथ ग्रहण। क्या कर रहे हो यार? जल्दी जाओ। All right, so everyone stops for a little bit to speak their mind before they are making their way to the brigade ground. The Prime Minister is now on stage, and any moment now the oath-taking ceremony is going to start. Any more names, Mahua, that you can think of? Because again, we are on the one hand talking of, and we were speaking of Nandigram and Shingur. Interesting story. So if you've got the entire tribal belt being won by the BJP, the entire industrial belt of Durgapur, Asansol, BJP has made massive gains there. To the best of my recollection, barring about 5-6 seats, that entire area has been swept by the BJP. Shingur, which was the bedrock of Mamata Banerjee's rise. Becharam Manna was the MLA last time around. This time he was defeated by the BJP, so it is as poetic as it gets that in that area also you've got the BJP unseating the Trinamool. Keeping that in mind, who do you think could be the professional names that Suvendu Adhikari will bring or needs to bring in his team?
Yeah, Padmaja, this is a very, just like Joyanto pointed out a little while ago, this is the most difficult question, simply because this is a completely, fresh new cabinet. And apart from Suvendu Adhikari, there aren't people really who have been part of any ministries anywhere. So they will have to really choose, and therefore, like you said, like we all mentioned, that they'll have to go, they will have to kind of choose from areas that BJP...
As Chief Minister of the State of West Bengal, signed by Shri R.N. Ravi, Governor of West Bengal, on 8th May 2026. May I now request Shri Suvendu Adhikari, Honorable Chief Minister Designate, to take oath before the Honorable Governor.
আমি শুভেন্দু অধিকারী ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে বিধি দ্বারা স্থাপিত ভারতের সংবিধানের প্রতি আমি অকৃত্রিম নিষ্ঠা ও আনুগত্য পোষণ করিব। আমি ভারতের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও অখণ্ডতা রক্ষা করিব। পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রী রূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহ নিষ্ঠাপূর্বক এবং বিবেকসম্মতভাবে নির্বাহ করিব এবং ভয় বা পক্ষপাত, প্রীতি বা বিদ্বেষ রহিত হইয়া সকল শ্রেণীর জনগণের প্রতি সংবিধান ও বিধি অনুসারে ন্যায় আচরণ করিব। আমি শুভেন্দু অধিকারী ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মুখ্যমন্ত্রী রূপে যে কোনো বিষয় যাহা আমার বিবেচনার জন্য আনিত হইবে বা আমি জ্ঞাত হইব, তাহা মুখ্যমন্ত্রী রূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহের যথাযথ নির্বাহের জন্য যেরূপ আবশ্যক হইতে পারে তদ্গতিকে আমি প্রত্যক্ষ বা পরোক্ষভাবে কোনো ব্যক্তি বা ব্যক্তিগণের নিকট জ্ঞাপন করিব না বা প্রকাশ করিব না।
With your permission, sir, I now read out the order of appointment.
All right, so Suvendu Adhikari, the MLA from Nandigram and Bhawanipur, has now taken oath as the Chief Minister of West Bengal. Another interesting question will be, which seat does he retain?
164(1) of the Constitution of India. I, Shri R.N. Ravi, Governor of West Bengal, on the advice of Shri Suvendu Adhikari, Chief Minister of West Bengal, hereby appoint the following persons in the Council of Ministers for the state of West Bengal: Shri Dilip Ghosh, Shrimati Agnimatra Paul, Shri Ashok Kirtinia, Shri Khudiram Tudu, and Shri Nishit Pramanik. May I now request Shri Dilip Ghosh, Honorable Minister Designate, to write and take oath before the Honorable Governor.
আমি ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে বিধি দ্বারা স্থাপিত ভারতের সংবিধানের প্রতি আমি অকৃত্রিম নিষ্ঠা ও আনুগত্য পোষণ করিব। আমি ভারতের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও অখণ্ডতা রক্ষা করিব পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রীরূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহ নিষ্ঠাপূর্বক এবং বিবেকসম্মতভাবে নির্বাহ করিব এবং ভয় বা পক্ষপাত প্রীতি বা বিদ্বেষ রহিত হইয়া সকল শ্রেণীর জনগণের প্রতি সংবিধান ও বিধি অনুসারে ন্যায়াচরণ করিব। আমি শ্রী দিলীপ কুমার ঘোষ ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রীরূপে যে কোনো বিষয় যাহা আমার বিবেচনার জন্য আনিত হইবে বা আমি জ্ঞাত হইব তাহা ওই মন্ত্রীরূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহের যথাযথ নির্বাহের জন্য যেরূপ আবশ্যক হইতে পারে তদ্ব্যতিরেকে আমি প্রত্যক্ষ বা পরোক্ষভাবে কোনো ব্যক্তি বা ব্যক্তিগণের নিকট জ্ঞাপন করিব না বা প্রকাশ করিব না।
बोल दें दूसरा। Announce second. May I now request Shrimati Agnimitra Paul, Honorable Minister Designate, to rise and take oath before the Honorable Governor.
One by one. This is first, this is second.
আমি শ্রীমতী অগ্নিমিত্রা পাল ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রী রূপে যে কোনো বিষয় যাহা আমার বিবেচনার জন্য আনিত হইবে বা আমি জ্ঞাত হইব তাহা ওই মন্ত্রী রূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহের যথাযথ নির্বাহের জন্য যেরূপ আবশ্যক হইতে পারে তদ্ব্যতিরেকে আমি প্রত্যক্ষ বা পরোক্ষভাবে কোনো ব্যক্তি বা ব্যক্তিগণের নিকট জ্ঞাপন করিব না বা প্রকাশ করিব না। আমি শ্রীমতী অগ্নিমিত্রা পাল ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে বিধি দ্বারা স্থাপিত ভারতের সংবিধানের প্রতি আমি অকৃত্রিম নিষ্ঠা ও আনুগত্য পোষণ করিব। আমি ভারতের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও অখণ্ডতা রক্ষা করিব। পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রী রূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহ নিষ্ঠাপূর্বক এবং বিবেকসম্মতভাবে নির্বাহ করিব এবং ভয় বা পক্ষপাত প্রীতি বা বিদ্বেষ রহিত হইয়া সকল শ্রেণীর জনগণের প্রতি সংবিধান ও বিধি অনুসারে ন্যায়াচরণ করিব।
May I now request Shri Ashok Kirtania, Honorable Minister Designate, to rise and take oath before the Honorable Governor.
আমি অশোক কীর্তনিয়া ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে বিধি দ্বারা স্থাপিত ভারতের সংবিধানের প্রতি আমি অকৃত্রিম নিষ্ঠা ও আনুগত্য পোষণ করিব। আমি ভারতের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও অখণ্ডতা রক্ষা করিব। পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রীরূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহ নিষ্ঠাপূর্বক এবং বিবেকসম্মতভাবে নির্বাহ করিব এবং ভয় বা পক্ষপাত প্রীতি বা বিদ্বেষ রহিত হইয়া সকল শ্রেণীর জনগণের প্রতি সংবিধান ও বিধি অনুসারে ন্যায়চারণ করিব। আমি অশোক কীর্তনিয়া ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রীরূপে যে কোনো বিষয় যাহা আমার বিবেচনার জন্য আনিত হইবে বা আমি জ্ঞাত হইব, তাহা ওই মন্ত্রীরূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহের যথাযথ নির্বাহের জন্য যেরূপ আবশ্যক হইতে পারে তদ্ব্যতিরেকে আমি প্রত্যক্ষ বা পরোক্ষভাবে কোনো ব্যক্তি বা ব্যক্তিগণের নিকট জ্ঞাপন করিব না বা প্রকাশ করিব না। May I now request Shri Khudiram Tudu, Honorable Minister Designate, to rise and take oath before the Honorable Governor. Chandu bunga nyutum te kiriyeñ hatawideñ sora khulesa monete kiriyeñ hataweda ona lekate तोलाकान भारत दिसोम रेना संविधान चेतान जीवी गाहिर मन आर मानत इन दोहया इन दो भारत रेना सामानी आर जुमित रुखिए दोह कातीन चला पश्चिम बांगला पनत रेना मीन मंत्री लेकाते इन्या आंगीभारिया को मन आर निछोरा मोनेतीन कामी पुरेवा आर बतौर से बेगोर तरफ सिने दुलड़ से हाला हता बांग मोने काते ने होड़ चितान नोआ संविधान आर आरी को मनाव बताव काते समझोस तीन कामिया इन चांदो बुंगा ᱧᱩᱛᱩᱢ ᱛᱮ ᱠᱤᱨᱤᱭᱟᱹᱧ ᱦᱟᱛᱟᱣ ᱤᱫᱟᱹᱧ ᱥᱚᱲᱟ ᱠᱷᱩᱞᱟᱹᱥᱟ ᱢᱚᱱᱮᱛᱮ ᱠᱤᱨᱤᱭᱟᱹᱧ ᱦᱟᱛᱟᱣ ᱤᱫᱟᱹᱧ ᱟᱹᱱ ᱞᱮᱠᱟᱛᱮ ᱛᱚᱞ ᱟᱠᱟᱱ ᱵᱷᱟᱨᱚᱛ ᱫᱤᱥᱚᱢ ᱨᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱥᱚᱝᱵᱤᱫᱷᱟᱱ ᱪᱮᱛᱟᱱ ᱡᱤᱣᱤ ᱜᱟᱹᱦᱤᱨ ᱢᱟᱹᱱ ᱟᱨ ᱢᱟᱱᱚᱛ ᱤᱧ ᱫᱚᱦᱚᱭᱟ ᱤᱧ ᱫᱚ ᱵᱷᱟᱨᱚᱛ ᱨᱮᱱᱟᱜ ᱥᱟᱢᱟᱱᱤ ᱟᱨ ᱡᱩᱢᱤᱫ ᱨᱩᱠᱷᱤᱭᱟᱹ ᱫᱚᱦᱚ ᱠᱟᱛᱤᱧ चला पश्चिम बांगला पनत मीट मंत्री लेकाते इन्या आंगीभार को मन आर निछोरा मने तीन कामी पुरेवा आर बतर से बेगोर तरफ सनी दुलड़ से हला हताव बांग मने काते ने होड़ चितान नोआ संविधान आर आरी को मना बताव काते समझ से तीन कामिया जोहार
May I now request Shri Nishit Pramanik, Honorable Minister Designate, to rise and take oath before the Honorable Governor.
আমি নিশীথ প্রামাণিক ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে বিধি দ্বারা স্থাপিত ভারতের সংবিধানের প্রতি আমি অকৃত্রিম নিষ্ঠা ও অনুগত্য পোষণ করিব। আমি ভারতের সার্বভৌমত্ব ও অখণ্ডতা রক্ষা করিব। পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রীরূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহ নিষ্ঠাপূর্বক এবং বিবেকসম্মতভাবে নির্বাহ করিব এবং ভয় বা পক্ষপাত প্রীতি বা বিদ্বেষ রহিত হইয়া সকল শ্রেণীর জনগণের প্রতি সংবিধান ও বিধি অনুসারে ন্যায়াচরণ করিব। আমি নিশীথ প্রামাণিক ঈশ্বরের নামে শপথ করিতেছি যে পশ্চিমবঙ্গ রাজ্যের মন্ত্রীরূপে যে কোনো বিষয় যাহা আমার বিবেচনার জন্য আনিত হইবে বা আমি জ্ঞাত হইব তাহা ওই মন্ত্রীরূপে আমার কর্তব্যসমূহের যথাযথ নির্বাহের জন্য যেরূপ আবশ্যক হইতে পারে তদ্ব্যতিরিকে আমি প্রত্যক্ষ বা পরোক্ষভাবে কোনো ব্যক্তি বা ব্যক্তিগণের নিকট জ্ঞাপন করিব না বা প্রকাশ করিব না।
So you've got the first set of ministers who have taken oath right now. Suvendu Adhikari, followed by some very interesting names, Dilip Ghosh, Agnimitra Paul, Khudiram Tudu, and Nishit Pramanik, along with Ashok Kirtania. Now, why this is interesting is because the order in which this oath taking has happened seems to suggest, and let me bring in Jayanta Ghoshal and Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay, Mahua Chatterjee on this as well. Jayanta Ghoshal, do you think that Dilip Ghosh, Agnimitra Paul, both of them, considering that first it was Suvendu Adhikari and then these two that took oath, that both these could be the new deputy CMs?
Yeah, I think so. And Dilip Ghosh virtually designated number 2 because constitutionally that is the protocol. And Dilip Ghosh is senior also. So they have shown the respect to Dilip Ghosh. I think in this election, the major development is Dilip Ghosh and Suvendu Bonhami. In the last election, I don't want to repeat, everybody knows that Dilip Ghosh was out of Midnapur. He is also from Midnapur, the same district of Suvendu, and he was also defeated. Agnimitra got the Kharagpur seat, which actually Dilip Ghosh seat. So there was a lot of acrimony and the bad weather. But this time, Amit Shahji took initiative. He called Dilip Da and said that you have to be walk. And Dilip Ghosh went to Suvendu Adhikari's nomination, and Suvendu Adhikari went to Dilip Ghosh's nomination. So this is a very interesting time. And I think this time Dilip Ghosh also will be a very important minister. And yesterday also, Dilip Ghosh, Amit Shahji talked to Dilip Ghosh and convinced him to what will be his designated role. So I think it's this time they are more, BJP is more calculative. And Padmaja, this announcement, I was amazed that all the representation, Rajbangshi, this Ashok Kirtania is Motua, Banda, Cyril Caste, and this Nishit is Rajbangshi, Koch Bihar, and Tudu, he is Santal, he also made that
Ashok Tudu.
To Ashok Tudu in his Santal language also. So the first lot, it's a completely, all the communities and all the, this is a very, it cannot be just extempore yesterday's decision. I think there is a homework from Amit Shahji's team.
Khudiram Tudu. I apologize. Khudiram Tudu comes from a tribal reserved constituency of Rani Band. So you've got a Matwa, a Rajbanshi, a tribal, an OBC in the form of Dilip Ghosh, and then you've got, of course, Agnimitra Paul, and you've got Suvendu Adhikari. Very interesting mix that you've got there. Not just of somebody, because remember what was being said about Suvendu Adhikari, that he has come from the Trinamool Congress, and within a matter of 6 years, he has been made the chief minister. Remember, it was in 2020 that he switched over, fought in 2021, and then has fought on the ground, building it from the booth up. But within 6 years, he's been rewarded like this. Dilip Ghosh, on the other hand, old RSS hand, somebody again who has been very, very involved with the grassroots workers of the RSS, originally from the RSS, then loaned to the BJP, became a part of the BJP. So you've got these two faces, BJP, RSS, and then a modern woman face in the form of Agnimitra Paul. You've got somebody who was a fashion designer, somebody who's urbane, convent educated, as Kolkata Bhadralok as it gets, fought from Asansol South twice, has shown her electoral mettle, has won there, and now, in all likelihood, these are going to be the CM and the 2 deputy CMs, and representation of the various communities, like we just heard, has been done in a well thought out manner, where from the north, you have got Nishit Pramanik from Mathabanga, then you have got Khudiram Tudu from Raniganj, a tribal reserved seat. On the other hand, you've got Ashok Kirtania from, an SC seat. So all of these people, what will be interesting though, since Jayantoda also mentioned, you have a very interesting tribal binary of the Kudmis and the Santals. The Santals, or so the Kudmis believe, get the lion's share. So will there be a representative, a Mahato, who was fielded? 2 Mahatos were given kit this time around from the Jangal Mahal area. Will one of them also find a place to just ensure that that balance takes place between those who already find representation, the Santhal community and the Kudmi community. All of that is also going to be very critical to watch. So this balancing act in everything that you see being done today is really going to be key. And then of course comes the most important thrust of all, the people who are going to do business. It's not just about the representation of region, caste, community, etc. It is also about people who are going to go out there, get business. We already spoke earlier about how the Niti Aayog has already been tasked with evolving a roadmap to ensure that West Bengal gets its work going on 4-5 important points. You know, the fish economy, what to do with its ports, mining, all of that is now going to be thought over, and a blueprint has been, or rather the task to evolve a blueprint has already been given to the Niti Aayog over the next few days. Mawa Chatterjee, what do you make of this mix that we see so far?
Interesting, and it's a good thing to see, you know, since, see, one thing the BJP doesn't have to choose from is experience, because they are a first-time government there, and these are people mostly, I mean, Nishit Pramanik has been a MP, of course, and so has Dilip Ghosh, and Agnimitra Paul has also been part of the BJP brigade in Bengal for a while, but they've never had a government there. Therefore, they didn't have to choose from much of experience. So since they had that advantage in a way, the first choices that they made were according to the regions and the communities. So they ensured that there are no wrong notes coming out, and therefore they have used people. I mean, there's one from the Santhal community, one from the Rajbonshi community, one from the Motua community. So, I mean, they've been nicely taken care of, and that really proves one very important point, which is the the integration that the BJP government is looking at, the Suvendu Adhikari government is looking at, to begin with in their debut in Bengal. So that part is interesting. But again, like I said, none of them are experienced people. So as ministers, I mean, as faces, they definitely are part of the very vibrant part of the rainbow. But one will have to see in terms of performance. But it's possible that they are not yesterday's politicians, so they might just fit in very well too. So that would make it even better. But as far as optics are concerned, they look very good.
The oath-taking ceremony has gotten over, and today you had only the CM and 5 ministers taking oath, which means that we are likely to see a cabinet expansion happening at a later date. I think more thought is going to be given to that process. Dilip Ghosh, Agnimitra Paul, Ashok Kirtania, Khudiram Tudu, Nishit Pramanik, these are the only 5 leaders along with Suvendu Adhikari who have taken oath today. Because we've got 294 seats and 10% is the total cabinet strength, you are likely to see about 29 maximum ministers. Today only 5 have taken oath. I want to also tell you, by the way, a lot of action seems to have shifted to a place that was popularized by the Prime Minister. A lot of bhel puri happening over here, a lot of jhal muri happening over here. You see this gentleman right here. भैया पूरी दुनिया में अब लोग झालमुड़ी की बात करते हैं, आज तो आपका अच्छा बिजनेस हो रहा है।
हाँ, अच्छा
सही बिजनेस चल रहा है।
हाँ, बहुत अच्छा।
कहाँ से हो?
यही बिहार से।
बिहार में किधर?
गया जिला।
वोट किधर पड़ता है, यहाँ या गया?
क्या जी?
वोट इधर पड़ता है, गया में पड़ता है?
हाँ, बिहार में पड़ता है।
अच्छा, ये मोदी जी के झालमुड़ी खाने के बाद कुछ असर पड़ा है आपकी जिंदगी में?
जी बहुत पड़ा है, मतलब ज़्यादा बिक्री सेल है। ये तो देखिए, ये सामने देखिए, पूरा भरा था, ये पूरा खाली हो गया अभी जस्ट 5 मिनट के अंदर में।
लोग यहाँ झालमुड़ी खा के रील बनाने के लिए आते हैं इंस्टाग्राम?
अधिकतर बहुत सारे
बंगाली लोग का
All right, that's the latest that we are picking up here on NDTV, a historic...
बोलने लग गए
हम लोग हिंदू सॉरी हम लोग हिंदू है हिंदू वोट से जीते हैं हम लोग सनातनी हिंदू हैं इसलिए हमारे सनातन धर्म का जीत हुआ है ये सनातन धर्म की जीत है
So everything is in the mix over here, from Jhalmudi to the win of Sanatan. Interesting that after that one video by the Prime Minister, immediately Jhalmudi has been branded as the food of West Bengal. लोग तो कहते थे माछ भात है यहाँ का खाना, आपने झालमुड़ी को बना दिया यहाँ का।
देखिए झालमुड़ी भी उतना ही पुराना है जितना माछ भात है। बंगाली बिना झालमुड़ी के रह नहीं सकता।
अच्छा।
मुड़ी हम लोग का मेन है, चावल मेन है। चावल में मुड़ी हो चाहे उष्णो भात हो।
माछ भात ज्यादा अच्छा, झालमुड़ी ज्यादा अच्छा।
दोनों अच्छा।
ये देखो ये आदमी खट से जो है मोदी जी का कटआउट भी लेके आ गया। आगे आ जाओ। अरे चुप हो जाओ भाई, चुप। कहाँ से आए हो?
साउथ दिनाजपुर से आया हूँ। बालूघाट मेरा सांसद है सुगंधा मुजुमदार से मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ।
यहाँ पे क्यों आए?
मैं
शपथ ग्रहण हम लोगों ने देखने इस बार बढ़ के लोगों ने पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ सरकार।
ये बताओ आप, चलो सब लोग यहाँ भाजपा के, चलिए महिलाओं से बात करते हैं। इट्स ऑलवेज गुड टू स्पीक टू द विमेन। आंटी किधर से आई है? मंजू देवी नाम है।
हाँ, मंजू देवी।
कहाँ से आई है मंजू?
आए जा किसनो पालो पदू पोखर से।
सब लोग बोलने दीजिए ना, बीच में अंकल को बोलने दीजिए। अंकल आप आइए आगे, अंकल और महिलाओं को बोलने दीजिए।
बंगाल आजाद हुआ है मैडम, इसलिए आज हम लोग यहाँ पे आए हैं, आजादी मनाने आए। जय श्री राम।
कहाँ से आए? कहाँ से?
कलकत्ता से ही हैं। टीएमसी की सरकार के अंदर में तकलीफ पा रहे थे, आज बीजेपी।
ये आंटी किधर से आई?
आज आजादी हुआ।
सुवेंदु बाबू को इतना ही कहना है कि टीएमसी नहीं करना है कभी, कांग्रेस नहीं कभी करना है और सीपीएम नहीं करना है, भारत को बंगाल को आजाद बनाना है। जय श्री राम।
ये very helpful because everyone, all the कार्यकर्तास have been given a name tag. शपथ समारोह देख के आए?
जी नहीं, अभी जा रहे हैं।
शपथ समारोह खत्म हो गया।
ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं है। भूमि पर पहुंचना हम लोग का जरूरत है। मोदी जी को रोज देख रहे हैं, जो दिल में रखा है वो दिल में ही मोदी जी है। हम लोग का बंगाल में मोदी जी है।
शुभेंदु अधिकारी के बारे में क्या सोच?
फॉर वुमेन, और जो बदलाव चाहिए, फर्स्ट तो शिक्षा में बदलाव चाहिए, क्योंकि मैं एक टीचर हूँ। मैं देख रही हूँ कि यहाँ की जो शिक्षा व्यवस्था है वो एकदम डंप हो गई है। तो मैं तो चाहूँगी कि आने वाली सरकार सबसे पहले शिक्षा की व्यवस्था अच्छा करे, ताकि सभी शिक्षित हो, सभी अच्छा बुरा समझ सके।
आपको क्या चाहिए?
हम लोग को चाहिए कि हमारे जितने यूपी, बिहार, बंगाल का जितने हिंदू भाई हैं, सब आज़ादी से जिंदा रहे। यहाँ पर हम लोग बहुत दब कर यहाँ पर थे। ममता बनर्जी का राज में हम लोग कहीं पर भी सुरक्षा नहीं थे। हम लोग को अब सुरक्षा चाहिए।
So you will hear, you know what I have to say, that there is a good mix that you find of people who are coming from all classes, all strata of society, a healthy mix of men and women, a lady who's a teacher there. And I have to say this, you know, while there were a lot of other issues that got precedence in the last few months in the course of the election campaign, one thing that a lot of people spoke of again and again was the job scam. The fact that you had teachers' recruitment which was cancelled. There were several people who found themselves completely at sea because when the court intervened, those appointments were cancelled. Every household, every second household had such a story to share of somebody in their family who had suffered because of some multiple scams that came to light. And now there is a burden of expectation without a doubt. The cutouts have also been brought out. बहुत ज़्यादा expectation है। कितना टाइम लगाएंगे? एक साल के अंदर सब ठीक हो जाएगा?
धीरे धीरे चाहिए, कोई चिंता नहीं, आराम से कीजिए। हम लोग 5 साल तक तैयार हैं।
Okay, let me go across to Shreyasi because I believe the sea of humanity is right there behind Shreyasi. I don't even know if you can hear me, Shreyasi, above the entire din. Over to you. What are you seeing?
Padmaja, I have covered several political campaigns of various political parties, be it the CPIM, Trinamool Congress, the BJP, the Prime Minister's Brigade Rally. But the kind of, spectators today, it's unreal. The entire city's roads lead up to the Brigade Parade ground. And we're going to speak to some of the karyakartas of the BJP who have come here. Kab se BJP kar rahe hain aap?
हम तो 2005 से कर रहे हैं बीजेपी ऑलरेडी में, दिल से वोट कर रहे हैं बीजेपी को। बीजेपी में जन्मे हैं, बीजेपी में
कितना मुश्किल था ये लड़ाई?
बहुत ही ज़्यादा मुश्किल था, बहुत ही ज़्यादा मुश्किल था। हम लोग आज राष्ट्र में पहली बार जो कोलकाता में सेंट्रल आया है, आज तक इतिहास में कभी सेंट्रल यहाँ पे नहीं आया है, और पश्चिम बंगाल के इतिहास में फर्स्ट टाइम सेंट्रल यहाँ पे आया है। ये सेंट्रल यहाँ से टिका हुआ है।
डबल इंजन का सरकार की खुशी,
डबल इंजन सरकार, सेंट्रल सरकार यहाँ पे आके राज कर रही है, सबसे ज्यादा खुशी का महत्व है।
कुछ महिलाओं, कब से आप बीजेपी कर रहे हो? हाँ। और पास में आइए, डरिए मत। और बताइए, अभी शुभेंदु अधिकारी बन गया है बीजेपी का मुख्यमंत्री, क्या
I will try and go back to Shreyasi again because, given the number of VVIPs, everyone with their security detail who is present at that spot, and the sheer number of people, take a look at those images. Close to 1 lakh people expected. Did you see the people who were passing by? They still think that they are going to make it in time for the oath ceremony, which is already over. The whole Maidan is packed, and yet you've got the roads lined with people walking along with their banners aloft, with their flags aloft, chanting Jai Shri Ram, still trying to get into Brigade Parade ground. Let me see if I can again try and go back to Shreyasi and if she can hear me. Yes, Shreyasi, over to you.
Well, Padmaja, look at the Council of Ministers also that have been picked for now, the 5 ministers who have taken oath, all old guards, they have been MLAs before, and to have Dilip Ghosh as part of one of the ministers sacrifice their life to ensure the BJP comes.
All right, still not able to get through to Shreyasi. We'll try and fix that in just a second. But just for the benefit of our viewers who are just joining us right now, let's tell you about the 5 big names in addition to Suvendu Adhikari who have taken oath today. You have Dilip Ghosh and Agnimitra Paul. In order of precedence, you have, after the CM, both of them taking oath. So one assumes that they could get the Chief Minister's post. Then you have Ashok Kirtania. He comes from Bengal, Uttar in North 24 Parganas. Now, what is the importance of North 24 Parganas? This, along with South 24 Parganas, Kolkata and Nadia, were the areas where, if you remember that oft-repeated figure, out of 111 seats, the Trinamool Congress had managed to get about 95 to 98 in 2021. This time that picture has changed, and it's changed largely to 2-3 places. It has changed thanks to Howrah. I forgot to mention that. Howrah also included in that presidency area. Howrah, North 24 Parganas, Nadia and Kolkata. South 24, the BJP did not make as many inroads, but in these 4 areas, and specifically in Howrah and in North 24, the BJP has made leads. Why is this important? Because this is the place where you have one of your MPs also coming, one of the BJP's MPs, Santanu Thakur. It's a Matua belt. Matuas are decisive in at least 10 to 12 seats in North 24 Parganas, and they have been handsomely rewarded in this particular region. So one person represented there in the form of Ashok Kirtania. Then you have a Santhal voice. You have got Shudiram Tudu also, who is a tribal leader from the Bankura district. He represents Rani Band, a tribal-dominated constituency in Jangal Mahal, and the tribal outreach of the BJP has been massive, with the result that you've got returns coming in the Jangal Mahal area, which is the western side, and the north side, entire, the northern hills area of your Siliguri, Darjeeling, Cooch Behar, and all of those areas, and from where you've also got, by the way, Nishit Pramanik. We also have a few more guests joining us. If the producer can slowly tell me again who the new guest joining us right now is. Ritik Mandal is joining us right now. Ritik, over to you. Where are you and what's happening?
Well, I'm waiting for the new Chief Minister to arrive at the new Sachivalaya, which is Mahakaran, the Writers' Building, the iconic Writers' Building, where I would like to take you through. The preparations are underway. As you can see, that this particular Writers' Building, where the BJP Chief Minister or the BJP party has decided that now the Bengal would be governed, would be administrated from this headquarters. Let me, as you can, as we are bringing this visual, that you can see the PWD staffs, they are busy to finish the, the final touch, to give the final touch to this particular building. What we are given to understand, on the third floor of this particular iconic historic building, which is a part of Kolkata's heritage, and there is a, very hurriedly a makeshift room for Suvendu Adhikari has been set up over there, and he is going to come over here after taking oath, and it is also expected that he would go to the assembly and chair a cabinet meeting, because we know that but it's a dramatic and interesting history behind this particular building. Let me take you through also, because remember earlier also during the left regime, be it the Buddhadev Bhattacharya or the Dadan Chief Minister Jyoti Basu, both the Chief Minister governed Bengal from this particular iconic building. Even during Congress era, Bidhan Chandra Roy, Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy happens to be one of the finest Chief Minister of Bengal. He also ruled Bengal from this particular building. And once Mamata Banerjee came into power in 2011, she, for a brief period time, till September 2013, she governed the entire administration from this particular building. Then it was shifted to other side of the river Hooghly, which is located in Nabanno, which is the current secretariat of the state. Now, BJP, as it has promised, that they want to bring back the Rit Gaurav or the color back to Bengal, which is why they have decided now the new secretariat would be shifted to this particular building. But I also went upstairs to to take a look what is the current situation. For past few years, it was under constructions. The renovation works were underway. So hurriedly they somehow set up a single room for Suvendu Adhikari. So we are also learning from the sources that it would take at least 3 months to reshape the entire this heritage structure, but it's part of Kolkata's culture. If you think about the poster pictures of the Kolkata city, definitely this Writers' Building would be one of it. So that's a very wonderful decision. It is what we are expecting, that Suvendu Adhikari, after taking swearing in as the chief guest, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and other, leave the city, he will head to this particular area, and it is expected that he will also chair a cabinet meeting. As he was taking us through that, what are the other chief minister who take oath today at the iconic Brigade Parade Ground? Yes, definitely Dilip Ghosh's contribution to this magnificent victory of Bharatiya Janata Party cannot be looked away, because remember in 2019 when BJP backed 18 seats in the Lok Sabha elections, and which, if we according to assembly wise, it was 121 seats that time BJP was leading. So it was all credit goes to Dilip Ghosh. He built up this party in the land of Bengal, and then of course the contribution of the Dilip to propel Bharatiya Janata Party into power of Bengal was very, very significant, which is why he took oath as one of the ministers. He is also being told that one of the Ghosh Babus are going to be the deputy chief minister. The names were taking around that the Shankar Ghosh or over Dilip Ghosh. Now comes to Ognimitra Paul. She fought the entire battle as the opposition leader hand in hand.
I'll just come to the rest of the names back to you, Ritik, because when you spoke of Dilip Ghosh and his contribution, I think it's also important to mention another person, a person called Makhan Lal Sarkar. And it's about recognizing all of the people, all of these leaders, these karyakartas who have created this edifice, who have built this edifice on their blood, sweat and tears, and literally some of them on their blood. Few of them, the 321 workers of the BJP, to whom there was a memorial today, a sort of a poster that was set up at the Brigade Parade Ground. The second is the likes of Dilip Ghosh, who, with their roots in the RSS, were loaned to the BJP, then worked in the organization, built it from the bottom up, and then somebody like a Makhan Lal Sarkar. The Prime Minister acknowledged him today on stage when he was at the Brigade Parade Ground ahead of the swearing in. Now, who is this person? He is 98-year-old. He is a BJP veteran. He is regarded as one of the earliest grassroots faces of the BJP, and he started his political journey in 1952 accompanying Shyama Prasad Mukherjee to Kashmir. Subsequently, he worked in the North Bengal areas. He strengthened the BJP's roots in Darjeeling, in West Dinajpur, in Jalpaiguri, and this is where the BJP is today. And that, I think, was also important to recognize, and it's been done in the choice of Dilip Ghosh as well, along with the recognition of Makhan Lal Sarkar, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay.
You know, I have been looking at these names. There's something very significant which I wanted to just say. You know, the divided BJP, which actually costed very deeply in 2021. It is very clear that the BJP has decided that even after being elected and forming the government, that they are going to continue and present a united face. Dilip Ghosh's admission, you know, into the cabinet with most probably being made the Deputy Chief Minister, I think it's very significant because he is representing the RSS factor in the BJP government at the moment. You know, I was also looking at your colleague who gave the report from the Writers' Building. You know, I have also looked at the history of the Writers' Building, and you know, for the first time I actually must confess, you know, that I had never wondered all these decades that why is it called the Writers' Building, you know, a building which was possibly built towards the end of the 18th century, the 1770s. The writers were actually the lowly clerks of the East India Company, which had just about started establishing its control and government for the trading, and it required a presence there for the trading center which was coming up in the Kolkata city at that particular time. That is how it started, and it was actually a very functional building. Over these centuries, over the years, it continued to be the government. After East India Company, it became the capital, the central secretariat of the British government till 1911, when India's capital was shifted by the British to Delhi. And after that, it remained under the state government of the British government in the colonial era. After that, the government of India, the state government functioned from there, continued through these years. There's a very significant development. You know, Writers' Building used to be the normal destination of all processions, you know, Michil, you know, the protests, you know, which is part of the culture, political culture of Bengal. In July 1993, Mamata Banerjee led a protest of the Youth Congress, and mind you, what was the demand? That photo identity card should be considered as essential for anybody to cast a vote. So the protest which actually gave Mamata Banerjee and all India and all Bengal presence.
I'll just pause you for a second, Nilanjan Mukhopadhyay. You know, a very, very important image of the Prime Minister doing a Shashtang Pranam to the crowd there. He bows down and he prostrates himself on stage before the crowd, and this gesture is intended to send out the message of just how enormous this moment is. The fact that not just a mandate has been given to the BJP by this very crowd, this very group of people, actually not a nameless, faceless crowd, all of them workers who have come from across the state. And it's not just to the voters, But I think to the workers in particular that this gesture is intended to say that one recognizes what has gone into the making of this mandate, that if today the BJP is standing at a brute majority of a 207, it's because people have shouldered the kind of responsibility that they were given over decades. People like Makhanlal Sarkar, people who were unknown, people who toiled behind the scenes, people who are being shown on national media today simply because they were on stage with the Prime Minister. Who knew of him before this? People like Dilip Ghosh, who have worked at the grassroots at a time when many wondered. Remember, in the time between 2019 and 2026, there were deep, deep divisions with the BJP. It had got a resounding mandate in the Lok Sabha, where they had managed to get 18 seats, a huge shock. And then you had the result of 2024, where they came down to 12. There were a lot of differences. There were divides. Several people were suspended for indiscipline. By the way, among the MLAs who have been elected this time around, there were those also who got caught somewhere in that factionalism. They fell between two stools, faced disciplinary action, were suspended, were then given a ticket, and now today are in the BJP legislature party. What do you make of this? Quite a gesture. Quite a gesture there by the Prime Minister. What do you make of this, Jayantoda?
Yeah, I think it's a huge, a strong message. I mean, as you said, that the mandate and it's a respect to your Bengal, not only voters, the people of the Bengal, and this you have connected that Makhanlal Babu in 1951. I just will give you a small anecdote. I am tempted. I was going with Atal Bihari Vajpayee in the Kalka Mail to attend BJP National Executive. Jyoti Basu was Chief Minister. Atal Bihari Vajpayee in an interview told me that मेरा दुख इस बात की है कि मैं श्यामा प्रसाद मुखर्जी का सेक्रेटरी थे, लेकिन भाजपा का खाता बंगाल में नहीं खोला और वो हिंदी बेल्ट का पार्टी, हिंदी पार्टी रह गया. Today, Atal Bihari Vajpayee is not with us. Even Calcutta Corporation got only 2 councillors seat. In Kamal Basu was mayor and Jyoti Basu CM. And Advani ji issued a statement from Delhi, from the Ashoka Road party office, that in West Bengal we have opened the khata of BJP. And there was a Gulal celebration in Calcutta Corporation for 2 councillors. And today, Advani ji is there, but I think Vajpayee ji aaj agar hote, so this is a very historical moment for the party. 51 to 80, 80 to, so this is the unfinished agenda of Jansangh. And today, Modi ji, Amit Shah ji, they have done it. So it's a huge thing, and it is not only for BJP and Jansangh. It's an all-Indian political multi-party system. Earlier it was Congress system, as Rajini Kothari said. Today is a BJP system. So BJP is now reaching to the east. Amit Shah ji told in the first press conference as party president that we cannot be pan-Indian party jab tak hum Bengal nahi pahunchenge. Because that time they reached Yedurappa's chief minister, but Bengal was completely untouched. After Assam and Tripura, now this Angbang Kaling Prime Minister is said a lot of, repeated times. So now this is a very significant, and it's an answer to TMC also, because the theory was invasion. So this is not aggressive invasion of BJP. ये तो विनम्रता के साथ you are connecting with the Bengal. So this is a very strong message, and I think it will not only national, I think it will go viral in globally, because Prime Minister is Prime Minister.
Well, every gesture, like we were just discussing a while earlier about that whole Jhalmuri moment, every gesture is calculated to send out a specific message, to ensure that it goes viral. And well, it has side effects or side benefits for the people involved, like the Jhalmuri seller here says, purely by reason of Instagrammers who come here to replicate the Prime Minister's Jhalmuri video, which by the way had I think the largest number of Google searches, that particular video. So you've got plenty of people with their smartphones who want to come here and replicate that reel, and the Jhalmuri sellers benefit here. This, like Jayanto Ghoshal also said, is a message of gracious and grateful acceptance of the mandate that has been given. I think it also must be seen in light of what the Prime Minister said earlier, that this is about badlav and not badla. The constant messaging is of gentleness, not of aggression, not of revenge, not of retribution. Correct me if I'm wrong, Jayantoda. That constantly there seems to be this implicit messaging: accept this mandate with gentility, with grace. Do not think of going after your enemies or going after your adversaries, even if you've suffered political violence at their hands. Jayanto Ghoshal.
Yeah, this is a message to the, you reminded me actually, this is a message to the workers also, the party workers also. As Amit Shah ji instructed the President and BJP, all leaders are going to the villages and that don't go for any clashes. And they are taking cameras also to show to the other workers. And one point I missed, this team in the cabinet, the interesting point we didn't discuss, the age. Age actually, Nishit 40, and from 40 to 61 Dilip Ghosh. So this is actually very young team. Only Dilip Ghosh is, above 60. Otherwise, all, 40 to 52. So this is also a very young team. Actually, Padmaja, you are discussing about the youngsters in the BJP. This is in West Bengal governance. I think now they are also making the team very young team. This is also another aspect. And what Prime Minister has done, that is not only for the country, he is giving the message to the party also, that the post-poll violence, lot of incidents are, I think that can neutralize the post-poll violence milieu also, Padmaja.
Absolutely. Speaking of young team, I want to bring in Shreyasi Dey also, who's standing by at Brigade Parade Ground. Earlier, Shreyasi, just so much chaos and so many jammers, I think, at play over there that we kept losing the link with you. Over to you again. Has the ground cleared out now, or there are still people? Still plenty of selfies and photos and TV interviews?
Padmaja, I think the after party has begun. After the oath-taking ceremony, you can see the kind of loudspeakers, the enthusiasm of people, the flags, the slogans, the chants. It's a day of celebration for each and every BJP worker here in West Bengal who have tirelessly fought to bring this government to power. It hasn't been an easy fight, and you know, people have been very enthused. कहाँ से हैं आप?
कोलकाता का है।
कितना मुश्किल था ये फाइट?
आप बोलिए फिर।
कितना मुश्किल था बीजेपी सरकार को लाना इस राज्य में?
बहुत मुश्किल था। ठीक है।
कब से कर रहे हो बीजेपी आप? बीजेपी कब से कर रहे हो?
हाँ, सुनिए मेरे बात।
Okay, so he's a little nervous, I think, in front of the camera. But you can see that tempo over there, playing the loudspeaker, the flag, young boys sitting on top, celebrating this victory, celebrating this historic day. This is the first time the BJP has formed government here in West Bengal. Padmaja, we have been covering the campaigns, we have been covering the rallies, we have been speaking to the leaders, the ground workers. Even the BJP did not know they would cross the 200 mark. They were looking at 120, 130 is the seat tally that they were looking at. And that's why this time the Home Minister said that we will touch 120, 160 he went up to before the second phase. But it has been a clean sweep this time by the BJP. The 5 Council of Ministers, as we have been discussing, have also taken oath. A good mix of the old-timers in the BJP. They have all been 2-time sitting MLAs, and of course, they have also been a part of the government as part of the MLAs at the center as MP. Nishit Pramanik was part of the Trinamool Congress, now the BJP. But you can see there the kind of enthusiasm by the BJP workers. It's the day to celebrate. It's the day to have their slogans, their chants and their hopes to be put out there, because the BJP has finally formed a government here in West Bengal. The lotus has bloomed, and of course, we saw that grand oath-taking ceremony. Padmaja, every time there's an oath-taking ceremony that happens inside the Raj Bhavan, it's behind closed doors. It is limited to guests who are invited by the West Bengal government of leaders and dignitaries. But this time around, the oath-taking ceremony was a public spectacle, a show of unity, a message that the BJP has come to power here in West Bengal with the Prime Minister, with the several BJP-ruled chief ministers on the dais. The Prime Minister's chopper has taken off. He will be returning to New Delhi, but his government over here will be at work. The Council of Ministers, along with Suvendu Adhikari, will also hold the first cabinet meeting today as per the norm. And of course, there's a busy day ahead for the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Suvendu Adhikari, who will visit Shyama Prasad Mukherjee's residence, who will be offering his prayers at the Kali Ghat temple, and who will be going to Bharat Seva Ashram later on in the evening. BJP Karyakartas in full swing here in Kolkata, celebrating this grand victory. As we speak to the Karyakartas, all of them have been saying this fight was not an easy fight. They have been fighting for a long time. They were defeated in 2021, but the confidence built slowly and steadily, and now they are in power here in West Bengal with the hope to turn around the state's economic trajectory, with the hope to get more employment for the youth, and with the hope that women feel safer, and with the hope that West Bengal becomes Sonar Bangla, a promise that the BJP made ahead of the elections, and now it's time for that delivery. Back to you.
It's very important you said that the Prime Minister's government will continue to work in West Bengal, because you're absolutely right. It is going to be seen as exactly that. People here have voted for Modi instead of Didi. That is the binary they had in their mind. They've been promised a double engine ki sarkar. They'll be expecting quick results, and there is a lot at stake over here. There have been many, many grouses, much discontent, and a lot of it will want to be resolved. People will be looking at this government with very, very high hopes. It will be important to see what is the first decision, if at all anyone is taken, in the first cabinet meet that Suvendu Adhikari holds today after visiting Kali Ghat temple. Interestingly, in the same area where the former Chief Minister's residence, Mamata Banerjee's residence, also is. Taking a very quick break at this point, but on this historic day, the new Suvendu Adhikari cabinet has been sworn in. What does this mean, not just for Bengal, but also the expansion of the BJP in the rest of the country? The messaging by the Prime Minister today, all of that and much more continuing on NDTV. Stay with us.
All right, the headlines at this.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी। आर प्योर शाही पनीर मसाला, डिलीशियस, हेल्दी every day.
Where the software engineer with a big idea meets the smart market analyst. meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the gifted content writer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky of our own, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
When others are warming up, I'm raring to go. The stories that matter, the stories that shape your life.
Hello and welcome to watching Prime 5 with me, Raisha Saigal. What's happening? How?
The show that sets the prime time agenda.
We'll be deep diving into this topic to tell you what's at stake.
Join me, Raisha Saigal, on Prime 5, only on NDTV 24/7.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद ये तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा। सबका राजा आरती और मसाला।
Where the software engineer meets the cool UI UX designer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
आपने तो दीदी को एकदम धो डाला।
इसमें जनता का जीत है, मोदी जी का जीत है।
आज के की खाबेन झालमुड़ी ना माछेर झोल।
How will you celebrate?
झालमुड़ी माछेर झोल with रसगुल्ला।
You know, you remember you promised me that you will come to Kabini and do an interview with me. You like going to the forest?
This is a declaration of our state that to the entire country that our Kerala is secular.
ये विजय बंगाल की जनता के विशेष करके मातृशक्ति की।
One clip that went most viral was the non-interview. Cruz spent some time with him. We have these whistles out for you, and the whistles are for the fact that you got the poll right, which is quite fantastic.
We saw you campaigning, ma'am, for the RG Kaur victim's mother as well. You know, that was a telling moment. Do you believe that that incident in some ways was a tipping point?
I think that was not the only incident.
তবে পরাণ খুলে তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে
मीठा या नमकीन चाहे जैसे खाओ 100% सूजी से बनी आर प्योर वर्मिसेली स्वादिष्ट सेहतमंद हर रोज।
Where the software engineer meets the gifted content writer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky of our own, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
Launch control 0 to 100.
This isn't just about cars and bikes. This is about how you move.
This car makes no sense, yet it makes every sense.
What we are sitting inside is a Joby-powered air taxi. Your friend said, "Ye le le." We said, maybe not. Hi, my name is Siddharth Sharma. I'm your NDTV Automate, your ultimate guide into the world of automobiles and mobility.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
What is in your letter? What is in your letter here?
Support to AADMK to form the new government with Edappadi K. Palanichami as the Chief Minister. This was the letter.
Hello and welcome back to NDTV. This is a story of one of the most dramatic political transformations in modern Indian politics. From being Mamata Banerjee's trusted grassroots organizer to becoming the face of BJP's rise in Bengal. And now, in fact, becoming and swearing in as BJP's first ever chief minister in the state of West Bengal. This is the political journey of Suvendu Adhikari, a story of ambition, betrayal, ideology and power. Take a look.
The roots of Bengal's political transformation go back to July 21, 1993. 13 people were killed in police firing during Mamata Banerjee's Writers' Chalo movement in Kolkata. The tragedy became the emotional foundation of Mamata's politics. Every year since, July 21 has been observed as Shohid Divas, Martyrs' Day. Over time, the annual gathering became Bengal's biggest political show of strength. Mamata Banerjee was preparing to end 34 years of left rule. At a massive rally at Brigade Parade Ground stood a young organizational heavyweight, Suvendu Adhikari. But insiders say this was also the beginning of a silent political rupture. When Kunal Ghosh dominated the stage management and public messaging, Suvendu remained unusually sidelined. For a leader who had built the Trinamool Congress machinery in East Midnapur brick by brick, the message was hard to miss. Present on stage, absent from power. Sources say Suvendu believed Mamata Banerjee had allowed his marginalization. The resentment stayed. Then came more setbacks. As Mukul Roy's influence grew within the party, Suvendu increasingly found himself pushed away from the organizational core. At the same time, a young Abhishek Banerjee was steadily rising through the ranks. Inside the Trinamool, the success had quietly begun, and Suvendu Adhikari realized something crucial. The road to becoming Mamata Banerjee's political heir was closing. By then, BJP leaders had already begun reaching out to him. But leaving Mamata Banerjee was not easy. His father, veteran politician Shishir Adhikari, reportedly opposed the move. Mamata herself is said to have made repeated efforts to stop him. But the real conflict, insiders say, was no longer personal, it was political. Suvendu was unwilling to operate under Abhishek Banerjee's growing dominance inside the Trinamool Congress. The final rupture came after a massive Trinamool conference in Digha, the Adhikari family's stronghold. Despite organizing the event, Suvendu reportedly felt ignored yet again. Days later, on December 19, 2020, Suvendu Adhikari joined the BJP in the presence of Amit Shah. The rebellion was complete. Then came Nandigram. In one of India's most closely watched political battles, Suvendu Adhikari defeated Mamata Banerjee on her chosen turf. The former protege had become the challenger, and Bengal politics would never be the same again. Since joining the BJP, Suvendu has moved steadily closer to the RSS ecosystem. Today, he is one of Bengal BJP's strongest Hindutva voices, speaking openly on infiltration, polarization, citizenship and Bangladesh. Yet allies describe another side to him. An admirer of Swami Vivekananda, a warm host and one of the few Bengal BJP leaders with both state and central administrative experience. One of the few Bengal BJP leaders with both state and central administrative experience. Now Suvendu Adhikari stands at the edge of history. From a silent figure on Mamata Banerjee's stage in 2011 to the man poised to lead Bengal's first BJP government. With Jayanto Ghoshal, Sujoy, NDTV.
Suvendu Adhikari has taken oath as BJP's first ever Chief Minister in West Bengal. Let's go across to Manogya, who is joining us live from where action has been reported since early morning. Manogya, a sea of people really, marching, campaigning and celebrating this moment in every sense of the term. This is historic not just for the Chief Minister, but for the BJP in many ways. But Suvendu Adhikari, leader with public life of 30 years, member of parliament, MLA, and of course, at the very grassroots, he's been very, very active. He was, the Man Friday of Mamata Banerjee, but then the political transformation. What a moment really for West Bengal. But take it away to explain to the viewers how critical in history this moment is for the BJP.
For the rest of the country, this day and this moment is historical. For the people of Bengal, it is nostalgic. And trust me when I use that word with a lot of respect to all those who've died in this fight for the BJP to storm into power with 92% voting history this time, and also several questions and allegations on each other. But history has been written by the people of Bengal as they have nominated and they have elected the Chief Minister of West Bengal as Suvendu Adhikari, and BJP with 206 MLAs. Remember, I say that because 207 seats have been won, but Suvendu Adhikari is an MLA on 2 seats. So there are 206 MLAs of BJP, and leading the entire brigade at Brigade Parade Ground is Suvendu Adhikari himself. Remember, we've seen him in white kurta pajama, but we today see him in the gerua or the kesariya or the bhagwa color that you see. And the kind of uproar of people and supporters here in Brigade Parade Ground was unprecedented for any BJP leader anyway in the history of West Bengal. Besides Prime Minister Narendra Modi, there has never been this big gathering in Brigade Parade Ground for the saffron or the BJP here in West Bengal. But when we talk about the leadership, we talk about the new cabinet with Agnimitra Paul, Dilip Ghosh, Ashok Kirtania, Nishit Pramanik, and also Mr. Tudu, who will be now operating as cabinet ministers in the state of West Bengal, representing not only their communities but representing their regions and of course the aspirations of 10 crore people who have given the mandate for the next 5 years to BJP. This comes as the first double-engine sarkar for BJP from Delhi and also in Bengal, and perhaps one of its kind in past 4 decades, where the leadership of the state is not at loggerheads with the center. Maybe that will usher in a new era of development and vikas that BJP has been talking about. But also with that, several big decisions are expected in the first month of the cabinet meeting as they start their work today. As Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be leaving for Delhi, and post that Chief Minister of West Bengal, Suvendu Adhikari, will be visiting Writers' Building as well as Assembly, the West Bengal Legislative Assembly, which he has visited earlier several times as the leader of opposition and the first time as the Chief Minister of West Bengal. Remember, I say that because one door entry changes everything. When he had exited the door of Assembly last time, he had walked out as the leader of opposition of the West Bengal Legislative Assembly. And when he walks in today, he will walk in as the Chief Minister of West Bengal. That comes in with a lot of pride. And if I could talk about the color combination and the uproar and the public support that he got the minute he stood up for taking oath, that itself speaks volumes about the public gathering and the public support that has been ushered on him and the party for making and writing history this time. women thronging in massive numbers, people on the streets here in Kolkata holding flags and chanting Jai Shri Ram, Jai Ma Kali. This itself speaks on how Jai Shri Ram was a bone of contention or the cuss word in 2021 and has now become just another political chant and also the powerful aspirations of people of West Bengal being ushered in these words. As I speak, we also see history being created here in West Bengal, and I watching and witnessing it one more time. I remember 2011 when Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee was sworn in as the Chief Minister of West Bengal, and she walked from the legislative, from the Governor House to the Writers' Building, and that march of 1.5 kilometers or 2 kilometers was full of lakhs of supporters, everyone just trying to scream, shout, Didi, Didi, and that seems to have changed in 2026. Perhaps that's what public mandate is. That's why we say, Janta hi Janardhan hai.
Well, certainly Janta hi Janardhan hai. What a political transformation in West Bengal. But not just that, this will certainly lead to more development and a new era really in West Bengal as well. Thank you very much, Manogya, for getting us the latest. In fact, Mamata Banerjee, who was unrelenting, has also finally changed her X profile and said that she's the Chief Minister of West Bengal for 15th, 16th and the 17th Vidhan Sabha. That's all we have on this bulletin, but news and updates continue as the political thriller in Tamil Nadu continues. Taking a short break. See you on the other side.
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी.
Where the software engineer with a big idea meets the smart market analyst, meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the gifted content writer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky of our own, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
When others are warming up, I'm raring to go. The stories that matter, the stories that shape your life.
Hello and welcome to watching Prime 5 with me, Raisha Sehgal. What's happening? How to...
The show that sets the prime time agenda.
We'll be deep diving into this topic to tell you what's at stake.
Join me, Raisha Sehgal, on Prime 5, only on NDTV 24/7.
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Centre.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. INS Vikrant. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात. वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है. अरे मेरे राजा. सबका राजा और प्योर मसाला. Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you. In the sky of our own, feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
Where the software engineer meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
आपने तो दीदी को एकदम धो डाला.
इसमें जनता का जीत है, मोदी जी का जीत है.
आज के की खाबेन झालमुड़ी ना माছের ঝোল.
How will you celebrate?
झालमुड़ी माছের ঝোল with রসগোল্লা.
You know, you remember you promised me that you will come to Kabini and do an interview with me. You like going to the forest?
This is a declaration of our state that to the entire country that our Kerala is secular.
ये विजय बंगाल की जनता के विशेष करके मातृशक्ति की.
One clip that went most viral was the non-interview. Cruz spent some time with him. We have these whistles out for you, and the whistles are for the fact that you got the poll right, which is quite fantastic.
We saw you campaigning, ma'am, for the RG Kaur victim's mother as well. You know, that was a telling moment. Do you believe that that incident in some ways was a tipping point?
I think that was not the only incident.
তবে পরাণ খুলে তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে.
मीठा या नमकीन, चाहे जैसे खाओ, 100% सूजी से बनी आर प्योर वर्मिसली, स्वादिष्ट सेहतमंद हर रोज.
Like a dream come true, you make me rise with you in the sky over Rome. Feels like gravity is gone.
Feels like summer. Monte Carlo, it's the way you make me feel.
Where the software engineer meets the cool UI UX designer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University.
Launch control 0 to 100.
This isn't just about cars and bikes, this is about how you move. This car makes no sense, yet it makes every sense.
Hello and welcome to our continuing coverage here on NDTV of the Chennai Game of Thrones. It is 1 p.m. now. Suspense continues over government formation here in Tamil Nadu. No clarity on where things are at, but we will answer some of the questions that are on your minds right now. Is Vijay going to hit those numbers that will pave the way to him becoming Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, or is there a lot of last-minute bargaining taking place? Remember, the all-important VCK support that was to be announced at a press conference at 10 this morning has not happened. And it's happening right now, 3 hours late.
அழைப்பு கொடுக்கப்பட்டு எமது தலைவர் எழுச்சி தமிழர் விடுதலை சிறுத்தைகள் கட்சி நிலைப்பாட்டை அதிகாரப்பூர்வமாக அறிவிப்பார். We sincerely regret for the inconvenience. Yesterday, our party president announced that we'll be having our high-level committee meeting. Based on the high-level committee meeting, we will be announcing our decision today morning. We didn't give any official communication, summoned the press to our office. But unfortunately, the press people have come here, and now we have contacted our leader, and the information from him is that we will be sending an official communication sometime around 4 o'clock, and he will meet you with all the required news which you are seeking for, and he will be answering that. We don't have any answers for your questions. That's it. Thank you very much. நான்கு மணிக்கு அதிகாரப்பூர்வமான அழைப்பு ஊடகவியலாளருக்கு கட்சியின் சார்.
Very interesting update coming in from the VCK headquarters. The person you just saw was Pavalan, member of the VCK, saying that a decision will be announced by the VCK only at 4 p.m. They've said that the press has been speculating about a press conference at 10 a.m., 11 a.m., 1 p.m. today, but that their statement after high-level consultations within the party will only be declared at 4 p.m. today. It's incredible because the VCK itself had said that they were going to be holding a press conference at 10 a.m. Now they've tried to put it on the press, but that was not speculation. There is very clearly some high-level bargaining that is taking place at this point of time. Let's go to Vijay. Vijay Gopal Muralidharan is with me live right now. Vijay, take us through what's happening right now. The VCK says they'll declare their decision only at 4 p.m. You have a big crowd with you, Vijay. We'll get back to Vijay in just a moment. I'm just going to ask for a quick update on the reporters that we have. We've got Radhika live with us from the TTV Dinakaran residence. Deepak is at the TTV headquarters right now. Sam Daniel is at the EPS residence. Sam, I want to very quickly come to you. You've just heard the VCK leaders saying that they're... Okay, well, let's go to Radhika very quickly. Radhika, you know, the intrigue and the twists and turns are continuing. What was supposed to be a 10 a.m. briefing by the VCK has now become a 4 p.m. statement. You know, 4 p.m. It's going to happen the entire day. It is very clear that the VCK is still very pushing very, very hard with Vijay's TVK for some kind of power within whatever government gets formed. Radhika.
That's right, Shiv. This is going to be so decisive. This is what all of us have been waiting for. This is what TVK has been waiting for, because VCK's decision could pave way for government formation, because Vijay needs those two numbers, and the only party that can give those two numbers at this stage is certainly VCK. Yesterday they were undecided. There was IUML that backed out, and of course TTV Dinakaran also completely rejecting any kind of support. I just spoke to him, as well as that MLA whose support letter was given. They said that this is completely bogus, fake, and it is an AI-generated video that the TVK had put out to establish support from TTV's camp. Now, really, it remains to be seen what will happen in the next few hours, because those few hours that's coming forward is going to be very crucial for the government formation. VCK's 2 seats are going to be very, very important for Vijay at this stage, because looks like it is only VCK that can really save TVK at this point, that can really lead TVK to form government. And they're, of course, playing hardball at this stage. All kinds of negotiations happening. They want a cabinet berth, a couple of cabinet berths is what we are being told, and a few other demands as well being placed before the TVK. What demands will be met, and whether VCK will really forge that alliance, that remains to be seen.
Stay with me, Radhika. I want to go across to Vijay Gopal, who's live with me. Vijay, the VCK is saying they will put out a statement only at 4 p.m. What can you share with us, Vijay? Over to you.
That's right, Shiv. Hearing the news, like officially VCK will make the announcement around 10 a.m. Here, huge crowd gather to see Vijay, and both VCK supporters and also Tamadaga Vetri Kalagam supporters. You see how crowd has gathered. Now they're all coming out of the party headquarters after the official announcement from the official spokesperson of VCK. This was done based on police advice, because police conveyed to VCK asking them to clear the crowd. So that's the reason behind they have officially declared only by 4 p.m. they will make the official announcement. You see many TVK supporters are also here with Vijay's ID card and even whistle. This is the official poll symbol, and you see Vijay's shawl. They're all here to see Vijay, because they were information once TVK officially declare, they will also call Vijay also will be coming here. You see Vijay's photographs are also here with secretariat background. This is kind of developments we are witnessing just outside the VCK Tirumavalavan's residence. Let's try to speak with some of the supporters here. So edukkai vandirukkinga, VCK no officially declare panla support. So they hasn't declared officially. What's your hope now?
Today it will be a finalized, I think so. Okay. Because VC, I think Vidudalai Sirthagal has given many korikai. So
demands. Yeah.
Demands. Okay, so I think TVK will agree to that, and they'll.
You want this alliance to happen, VCK and...
No, there's no way, no. It has to be happen, no. Only for a 2-seat, I think so.
Or supporters kind of upset because of delay in vote-taking ceremony of Vijay?
Yeah, we are upset. Totally upset. Because it has been a 5 to 7 days, I think so, after the election. So, we have to make a conclusion, no. Because this is a democracy country and this is not fair, no.
So these are all the voice we have heard from TVK supporters, and even many VCK supporters are here. But officially now VCK spokesperson has declared, saying that only by 4 p.m. VCK Chief Thirumavalavan officially to declare whether they are extending support to Tamilaka Vetri Kalagam or not. But many VCK and TVK cadre are optimistic towards saying that definitely VCK Chief Thirumavalavan will extend his support to TVK to help TVK to form the governmentship.
Okay, stay with me, Vijay. So some hectic scenes happening outside the VCK headquarters. Press briefing not going to happen. Statement will happen at 4. Veera Raghav is also with us live. Veera, break down for us what bargaining is taking place right now. A 10 a.m. press briefing has now morphed into a statement that will take place at 4 p.m. now. That's an entire day in between of bargaining. What kind of power play is going on in your view, Veera?
Well, I think it's the kind of power play that's unprecedented in Tamil Nadu politics, and perhaps one that we've not seen very often in Indian politics as well, where a party with 2 MLAs is holding to hostage an alliance, not just a party with 108 MLAs, an alliance with 116, and an alliance of the Congress, the left, and the TVK. The VCK seems to be pushing, at least according to many, it's also standing exposed. Thirumavalavan, in a sense, Shiv, is also standing exposed as one who's driving a hard bargain and an opportunist politician, because he's gone and met MK Stalin last night. We believe that his sources close to him claim that the meeting was to convey to Stalin his decision to go with the TVK. And in that meeting, I believe what was also mooted was the possibility of Thirumavalavan as chief minister with the AIADMK and outside support from the DMK. At least that's the grapevine. Wow. I believe that the AIADMK has completely debunked that, saying EPS says it's absolutely untenable for him to be under Thirumavalavan, work under Thirumavalavan. He can be a deputy CM. I think they're pushing for deputy chief ministership, and it needs to be put very clear, Shiv. This is a man who's a member of parliament. He's not even an MLA. And I think this is about bargaining for a position for him. And it's not about bargaining for cabinet berths. He's playing all sides. He's delaying it, perhaps to push the hard bargaining. What's standing exposed is the great ideological giants of Dravidian politics who claim to be ideologically consistent, standing exposed, saying that they are willing to do anything for opportunism and the number game on the one side, except maybe a few leaders, the parties themselves seeing for the opportunity to have some kind of power. And on the other side, all sides trying to bargain for the best deal. The TVK is showing that it's inexperienced enough to not have had to cobble up the numbers earlier, Shiv. This is not over until it's over. We'll have to wait and see till the letters of support's there, till the swearing in happens. It's not over. And even after the swearing in happens, till the majority is proven on the floor.
Vijay Gopal has a leader of the VCK with him. Vijay, over to you. What is the VCK saying? 4 p.m. they'll make their decision.
That's right, Shiv. Officially, they have declared only 4 p.m. they are going to make that announcement. But now we have VCK cadre with VCK shawl, and also a TVK supporter with the pole symbol of Tamilaka Vetri Kalagam, that is whistle. Let's have a word with both of the supporters. Anna, நீங்க சொல்லுங்க, திருமாவளவன் என்ன முடிவு எடுக்கணும்னு நீங்க நினைக்கிறீங்க?
என்ன முடிவு எடுக்கணும்னு இல்ல, எழுச்சி தமிழர் தலைவர் என்ன முடிவு எடுக்கிறாரோ அதுக்கு சிறுத்தைகள் கட்டுப்பட்டு நிற்போம், அவ்வளவுதான்.
So I asked him a question, what would Thirumavalavan should take decision? He is saying like whatever decision Thiruma takes, we will support, we will stand with him. We have a TVK supporter also here. திருமாவளவன் என்ன முடிவு எடுத்தா நீங்க சந்தோஷமா இருப்பீங்க?
கண்டிப்பா நல்ல முடிவு எடுப்பார் திருமாவளவன். ரெண்டு பேரும் ஒன்றிணைந்து
நல்ல முடிவு எடுக்கணும்னு சொல்றாரு.
நல்ல முடிவு எடுக்கணும் திருமாவளவன்.
So he is saying திருமாவளவன் should take good decision and should extend support to TVK. நீங்க என்ன சொல்றீங்க?
தலைவர் எடுக்க முடியும்.
ஆட்சியிலும் பங்கு அதிகாரத்திலும் பங்குன்றது வந்து விடுதலை சிறுத்தைகளுடைய நீண்ட நாள் கோரிக்கை.
Okay, so you are saying VCK is a huge demand is share in power coalition government. Okay.
அது எப்படியா இருந்தாலும் தலைவர் வந்து என்ன மாதிரியான முடிவை சொல்றாரு? இன்னைக்கு வந்து நிபந்தனையற்ற கூட்டணியா இல்ல வந்து ஆட்சியிலும் பங்கு அதிகாரத்திலும் பங்கு எதுவா இருந்தாலும் தலைவர் எது சொல்றாரோ
சொல்றாங்க. ஆட்சியில பங்கு கொடுத்தாதான் உங்களுக்கு ஆதரவு. ஓகேவா? கொடுப்பீங்களா கொடுக்க மாட்டீங்களா? கொடுக்கணுமா கொடுக்க கூடாது?
தலைவர் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னா தேர்தலுக்கு முன்னால் ஆட்சியிலும் பங்கு அதிகாரத்திலும் பங்கு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. ஆனால் தனித்து நின்று தலைவர் ஜெயிச்சுக்கிறாரு. இன்றைக்கி ஆதரவு தேவை. தமிழக நம்ம அண்ணன் வந்து திரும்ப சொல்லிக்கிறாரு துணை முதல்வர் வேணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லியிருக்காரு. கண்டிப்பாக தளபதி கொடுப்பாரு. அண்ணன் துணை முதல்வர் வேணாம்.
So you are saying definitely TVK Chief Vijay will give up share in power.
Coming back to you in just a moment, we've got some breaking news. Very important factual update coming in on why the press briefing by the VCK, which was scheduled for 10 a.m. today, has constantly been postponed, and now it is scheduled for about 4 p.m. today. And the reason for that, piece of information being broken by a political editor, Vasudha Venugopal, is that one of the two VCK MLAs is on his way from Madurai. He hasn't reached Chennai yet, and that signature by both MLAs is required before that statement can be shared with the public, and that's the reason perhaps for the hold up, in addition to all the power play and bargaining that's going on. Vasudha, is that just an excuse, or is that really the reason why the VCK is delayed and not about bargaining and power play for a better deal?
That's a very loaded question, Shiv. In fact, it has a lot of answers in it. What I'm told is that TVK wants to stick to procedures. It has already given a specific format to the VCK, which is why it is asked. The party has asked its MLAs to actually come to Chennai. One of them has already arrived and the other is on his way, and he's expected to reach by 2 p.m. And while all of this is going on, there are also talks that have been going on between the DMK, AIDMK. AIDMK is taking the lead here with VCK, and another formula is being explored to look at Tirumavalavan as the Chief Minister. That was something that was discussed last night, and it was also negotiated upon. All parties will be okay. It was, it was believed to have the Chief Ministerial face in Tirumavalavan, who's a Dalit face of, and he in fact represents the Dalit party, VCK. But all of those negotiations went on yesterday. All of that explorations also went on. What we now know is that Stalin, MK Stalin is said to have given Tirumavalavan the go-ahead. He has said that he has no objections. He said that it's important for Tirumavalavan to support the TVK because people's mandate is with Vijay, and we expect that there's a certain expectation that Tirumavalavan could be showing his support to the TVK, which is why and also the delays because of this procedural issue of TVK not wanting to make a mistake in terms of format, and the VCK MLA taking his own time to reach Chennai. So several layers within layers there, several wheels within wheels there.
Vasudha, when this proposal was taken to EPS about Tirumavalavan as Chief Minister, I believe it was categorically rejected by the AIDMK, saying it's absolutely untenable, it's not done. I think there are multiple things at play here. I know that Tirumavalavan, for a fact, from people close to him, he knows very well that this is all looks very bad as opportunistic politics. He seems to be striking for a very strong, sort of a bargain with the TVK. Let's see what comes out of all this. It's the problem really, Vasudha, for the VCK is that Tirumavalavan is an extremely senior face. He's got two MLAs. I believe they want him in the cabinet with the TVK. Now, if he's going to be in the cabinet as such a senior leader, what's the role that's going to be given to him? They are demanding for Deputy Chief Minister post. And this we've been saying since yesterday. Vasudha, I'm not sure that any other concoctions possible till this is absolutely ruled out. I think most political parties are also aware, Vasudha, while they are driving this hard bargain and sending out information of these kind of formulas that's being worked out, they know that the formula, the effort or any attempt to keep Vijay out of power with this kind of political opportunism at play. Let's not forget, AIDMK is still an ally of the BJP. And I think one of the preconditions is for the VCK to, for this to even work would be for the AIDMK to break away from the BJP. I'm not sure if the BJP is okay with that. So there are multiple wheels within wheels here as the hard bargaining goes on. But this just shows that we are in a short-term period of potential political uncertainty in Tamil Nadu, where there's going to be constant number crunching, and the TVK will have to learn the art of building a coalition and holding numbers together. So will the other political parties in Tamil Nadu. Vasudha.
Okay, we've got an additional piece of breaking news coming in. Very, very important. Listen to this breaking news, viewer. The Tamil Nadu power play is seeing another clarity from the VCK. Another twist is coming in. AIADMK sources are telling our political editor and our Chennai bureau chief that AIADMK talks are still currently on. That channel is still active. Talks are still on. Sources say the Dravidian rivals are still in talks. They are still in play in an attempt to stop Vijay from taking power. AIADMK sources are talking about exploring an alliance with the VCK. Remember, we broke to you about an hour ago that the VCK chief, Tol Tirumavalavan, had met MK Stalin late last night as well. Sources say talks are on to project the VCK chief as chief minister. Vasudha and Sam are both live with me. Vasudha, quickly to you first. Incredible that the AIADMK talks are still in play. Like you said, a formula that involves projecting Tol Tirumavalavan, a Dalit politician, as chief minister. Take us through what the dynamics of this conversation are.
One of the various permutation combinations that's being explored, and like Veera was explaining, Shiv, that a lot of this just could be a projection, it just could be muscle flexing for the VCK to get the best out of the deal. Even when the AIDMK alliance was being explored with the DMK said that it would offer only outside support, it will not be part of the cabinet, but it wanted the best berths for VCK. That also shows that VCK has a very, old relationship with the DMK. What I'm told is these talks were on last night. As of now, VCK seems to be, still undecided on its support. We're partly sure that he's going to talk about supporting the TVK, but Tirumavalavan is also very clear that he wants the best from this whole thing, not just optically, but also for his party, for his organization. Procedurally, he also wants to make sure that they are not at fault. The TVK specifically aided by the Congress party. Now, I'm told that top lawyers of the Congress party are also helping the TVK draft their documents so that they don't end up leaving the governor unconvinced for the fourth time, which is why they have actually given a certain format to the TVK, and that also requires their MLAs to evidently have their signatures and, all these copies to be notarized, the copies to be verified, so that there are also no, allegations of forgery as to what we saw last night. So some of these permutation combinations were worked out last night. The formulas were discussed, but MK Stalin, I'm reliably learning, has told Tirumavalavan to go and support TVK right now, and that's where the matter stands.
Okay, so there is a fork in the road. I want to summarize this and simplify this so that our viewers don't, get lost in the details, because this is a story in motion and developing very rapidly towards 4 p.m. when the VCK will finally make its stand clear. But at this point of time, what we are reporting, what Sam Daniel, our Chennai bureau chief, and Vasudha are reporting also, is that the AIADMK talks for an alliance separately is still in play. It is not dead. Those conversations are still happening right now. There is speculation, and Sam, I'll bring you in on this, that the VCK chief, Tol Tirumavalavan, has demanded the chief minister's chair if he is to throw in his lot with the AIADMK talks that are taking place. As Vasudha is reporting, the DMK chief, MK Stalin, has asked the TVK to go ahead and support Vijay. But this alliance between the two Dravidian parties, those talks are still taking place. EPS additionally is okay with giving the VCK chief the deputy chief minister's post, not the chief minister's post. So this is an incredible Game of Thrones that is playing out behind the cameras, behind closed doors. Sam, how are you looking at this? That The AIA-DMK and the DMK talks are still on, and the VCK very clearly is trying to get the best deal on either side. That decision has not been taken, Sam.
That's right, Shiv. This under the presumption that TVK will not be able to prove its numbers and form the government in Tamil Nadu. This particular development has taken place after the meeting with MK Stalin, after VCK announced that they're all set to support TVK following their internal meeting. And interestingly, one development last night is the complaint by AMMK chief Dinakaran that TVK has forged the signature of his MLA claiming to have his support for the TVK government. Now, AIADMK sources say, according to the earlier ongoing discussions over putting in place a larger Dravidian coalition that will bring together the two Dravidian arch-rivals, in a sense, will be led by AIADMK, but supported from outside by the DMK, which has in fact more numbers as the key opposition party, according to the new numbers now. Now, VCK chief Tiruma Valavan, the AIADMK sources says if this coalition ought to come into place, he ought to be made the chief minister. His argument is VCK stands for the cause of the Dalits, and this will be a good face-saving mechanism by these two Dravidian arch-rivals to come together to empower a Dalit leader becoming the chief minister in Tamil Nadu. That's his argument, and this has been going on for quite some time within the VCK circles ever since no single party got an absolute majority, that it's time for all these parties to come together and make Tiruma Valavan the chief minister. Now that TVK is offering share in power, it's not clear yet whether VCK will ultimately accept this demand offer or not, or what exactly is their offer in terms of, do they want just ministership, or would they want VCK leader himself to be made the deputy in Vijay's government? At the moment we don't know, but simultaneously, parallelly, this particular demand has also been made, and now it's up to both these sides to decide how they want to take it forward. The larger Dravidian coalition believes to step up its options, step up its initiatives once it becomes clear that TVK will not be able to form the government. They're waiting for the May 10th deadline given by the governor, and this delay in announcement by VCK, at the moment it's not clear whether they are gaining time, or is it because they could not get the signature of the stranded MLA who's on his way to Chennai. So there will be more clarity on the 4th, by 4 o'clock this evening. If VCK decides to support, then of course the decks are clear for Vijay to stake claim to form the government. But even after that, we'll have to wait for the Lok Bhavan, particularly on its response to the complaint by AMMK chief Dinakaran over allegations of forgery by TVK. So twists and turns are still possible, but one important development on the other plan to put in place a larger Dravidian coalition. Lastly, Shiv, the CPI and CPM at the moment are not sure whether they will support, because yesterday Vasuki, the Politburo member of the CPM, told NDTV very clearly that they discussed both these options of sharing power or supporting TVK, and the other option being floated to bring together the two Dravidian arch-rivals. And the party, she says, strongly decided that they will never support that move because that's against the spirit of the people's mandate in Tamil Nadu. They believe strongly that the vote this time is clearly in favor of Vijay, although he runs...
Sam, I'm going to come back to you. Just hang on to that thought for a moment. You've given us a very, very comprehensive overview of this Game of Thrones right now. I want to very quickly, in a snapshot, summarize. There are two things happening right now, viewer. There are two paths that government formation can take in Tamil Nadu right now. The more probable one is the TVK, Vijay, who have 116 seats right now. If the VCK adds those 2 seats by 4 p.m., Vijay crosses the finish line and gets to form the government. But at the same time, on the other side, there are confabulations and talks happening between the AIADMK and the DMK arch rivals, traditional enemies on the political battlefield, but they've decided to come together to keep Vijay out. And for that, they also need the VCK's Tol Tirumavalan support. And in order to sort of formalize that and to sweeten the deal, VCK chief has asked for the chief minister's post. The formula looks at this as possible because having a Dalit chief minister would soften and blur the edges of the otherwise cynical nature of this so-called unholy alliance between traditional and erstwhile enemies. I want to bring on to our coverage now to analyze the next few hours before we get clarity on what the VCK plans to do. Madhavan Narayanan, senior journalist, Ramaswamy Mayappan, political analyst, Ramesh Sethuraman, political analyst with me as well. Ramesh, I want to come to you first on this. The VCK clearly delaying that planned press briefing because there is some serious power play going on. It is very clear by now that Tol Tirumavalavan is talking to both sides and trying to get the best deal out of either.
Yeah. So politics is all about opportunity, right? But having said that, VCK with a mere 1% seat share as on date, them claiming to be CM-ship and the deputy CM-ship, I don't know how it will be received by the voters particularly, right? That is point number one. And here, as Veera was rightly summarizing it earlier, I think the credibility of VCK and its leadership is in question at the moment. Because, see, first, Mr. Tiruma is not yet an MLA, so he's an MP, so he has to resign and then, he has to contest an election. So it's a long way forward. And similarly, if you look at it, when we talk about the so-called deputy CM post, in Tamil Nadu's history, you would have seen only two deputy CMs, right? And both are from DMK in the past. Or so one, if you see, and they are all from the same family. So when Mr. Karunanidhi, when he was the chief minister, when he has crossed the age of 70, so at this time, people were questioning about the second line leadership. So he wanted to establish his son as the successor. Hence, Mr. M.K. Stalin, who was the recent ex-CM. So he was elevated as deputy CM. And similarly, during the last regime, you would have seen, while Mr. Stalin being the chief minister, he elevated his son for the same reason that I am talking about. So when that happened, except for that, you wouldn't have seen any precedence for this deputy CM-ship. That is point number one. And second most important thing that you have to understand is, if VCK is demanding deputy CM-ship, now Congress will say, hey, we came early, we have 5 members who are supporting you at this crucial juncture, and are you expecting us to give up the deputy CM-ship and then somebody else with less number of seats to enjoy this? This is number 2. The third thing is, the entire election, the victory is driven by one single face called Vijay. So in this case, if somebody is being given as the deputy CM-ship, because if it was, let's say, the pre-poll alliance, then this would have got justified no matter what. But this is about pure opportunistic. In spite of talking to Vijay, Congress, VCK, and everybody.
I hear you, Ramesh. I just want to tell our viewers that it's suddenly started raining cats and dogs here in Chennai. The city is getting a fresh wash of rain. Whether that means that the political temperatures are going to cool down, I don't really know, because obviously beyond the rain, things are extremely hot at this point of time concerning which way the VCK is going to go. Madhavan, bringing you in right now, this speculation that the VCK is talking to both sides and trying to get the best deal, a formula that sees him as a possible chief ministerial face, as part of the AIA-DMK alliance talks. What are you making of all of this, Madhavan?
I think it's very surreal, Shivarut, because I was telling you last night, this is beginning to resemble a real scene from the Cho Ramaswamy's satirical play Tughlaq. We are seeing a real life play of Tughlaq, and VCK now might well stand for very clever knavery. Knavery is a word that begins with K in English, that means deceitful, dishonest maneuvers. I think he's having his Mayavati moment or a Devegowda moment where Tirumavalavan wants to become chief minister, because the classic Dalit play where you want to shell the symbol or a signal down your cadres and ranks that you are the leader, and that has been on since the time of Jagjeev Ram.
Yeah. Okay, that link with Madhavan is frozen. I'm going to try and reactivate that. But in the meantime, Mr. Mayappan, you want to comment on what stands before the VCK chief right now? Because he's met Stalin yesterday. He's going to meet Vijay today before the 4 p.m. meeting or statement perhaps. What are you making of what Tol Tirumavalavan wants?
Even before getting to that, this entire fiasco and the drama and the theatre that's playing out in front of you is bad for democracy. VCK ran the election with DMK and did exchange pleasantries with the VCK after the election results and made efforts at joining them. And the VCK prior to the elections called the TVK the birth child of the BJP in the RSS. And the entire idea that Adav Arjuna quit the VCK and went away was that he asked for share in power, and that's something that they didn't want to be discussed when being in alliance with the DMK. He was suspended and removed from the party, and then he joined the VCK. Today he's a victor, and Tol Tirumavalavan, the founder of the party, going and joining him just on the pretext of now being able to get power after running on the shoulders of the DMK sounds all strange and ominous, just not good for democracy. These are not things that you made as promises before the people. All of you lied before the people and are just playing plain drama just for the sake of you being able to get office. What happens to your ideology? What happens to your promises to the people? I understand we need to give a stable government, but is the stable government going to be coming in this form of people piggybacking on someone else and then demanding for things with just 2 MLAs and people with 5 MLAs now trading up spots for mayor elections, municipal elections to ministers? Is this how we want a government run? Is this the promise that TVK leader Vijay made? Is this what the 35% of the people voted him for? So these are all questions that come to my mind. I still am left with the question, what is the response that's appropriate in democracy?
I would like to add only one.
I think, the word used by Madhavan before we lost that link with him is an excellent one. Knavery with a K. It's a word that very much sort of captures what we're seeing right now. Skullduggery is another. There's a huge, generous dollop of cynicism in what is playing out in the shadow of a mandate that Vijay has been given of 108 seats. You're still seeing this power play by these small parties that are sniffing the chance of creating history for themselves as well. And that's the reason why you're seeing Tol Tirumavalavan, a man with just 2 seats in the Tamil Nadu Assembly, holding all the power and all the leverage right now. And the traditional Dravidian parties, as well as the newcomer with this mammoth mandate, are all three at his mercy, literally at this point of time. Before I go back to Madhavan, the suspense of this pot boiler that has played out over the last 72 hours is not something that's going to be forgotten in a hurry. Just take a look. We captured it all for you in this report.
It's the biggest role of his life. An actor turned politician Vijay is having to wait longer for it. Thalapathy Vijay stormed the elections with a roar of the people behind him. A wave of love, anger, hope and rebellion. But when the dust settled, victory stood just out of reach. The road to Chief Minister's chair demanded 118 seats. TVK stopped just 10 seats short. And that's when the real political thriller began. Vijay was quick to stake claim, meeting the governor on the evening of 4th of May. But the majority mark remained elusive. That's when Congress came to the rescue, breaking away from its long-standing ally DMK to stand beside Vijay. Its 5 MLAs pushed the numbers to 112.
You met with Vijay today. What are the contours of this arrangement with TVK?
See, first, we must understand what was the mandate in the Tamil Nadu elections this time. The mandate was very clear and decisive. The mandate was for a secular, progressive politics. The mandate was for Mr. Vijay, and the mandate was overwhelming. So it is only correct that we respect the people's mandate. And what does that mean? The Congress Party's political ideology is also secular and progressive. So in that sense, we are ideological allies. And for that, it is our constitutional duty to help uphold the mandate given by the people of Tamil Nadu. And we do that by lending our support to Mr. Vijay to form the government here.
To be Chief Minister, Vijay still needed 6 MLAs. TVK reached out to DMK allies VCK and the left. Next day, Vijay went to the governor again. But Lok Bhavan was still not satisfied. The governor asked Vijay to prove majority before taking oath, asking him if he could provide a stable government with just 113 MLAs. The hunt for allies continued. VCK and left played hardball. And then came another twist that no one saw coming. An unnatural alliance was taking shape. Talks were on between arch-Dravidian rivals, the DMK and AIADMK, to stop Vijay from becoming the chief minister. Reports suggested the idea of EPS as chief minister with DMK outside support was being explored.
Now so many discussions are going on. That is, I cannot say anything now. Everything will due course of time. We hope that good things will happen. My party, my leader will come back.
Governor has given time until 10th. Okay. Only after that you ask me for Vijay.
Is there a possibility to think of some other plans after that?
We will see. If we have formed the government, what can we do?
By Friday morning, Vijay still didn't have the numbers. There was an active bid to stop him from forming the government. And all TVK MLAs were threatening to resign if that happened. TVK opened back-channel talks with smaller regional forces and left parties. Then came the biggest twist in the tale. By evening, Vijay was back at the governor's house with another letter of support. TVK claimed 120 MLAs. The stage seemed set for swearing in. The governor was still not satisfied. The release of Vijay Sarkar was delayed again.
Live with us from the TVK headquarters. I'm going to wait till we are able to patch him because we need to get a view from the outside of where all of our reporters are bringing together this incredible, meandering political thriller. The TVK's chief Vijay, remember, has not been seen at all today. There has been speculation that he might call personally on the VCK chief Tol Thirumavalavan today. 4 p.m. is when the VCK is going to put out its statement and make its decision final and clear. What that indicates is that there's a huge amount of muscle flexing, bargaining, negotiating, demands of all kinds before the VCK can take a decision either with the TVK or with the alliance of the AIADMK and the DMK. In the meantime, the suspense obviously continues non-stop. Madhavan Narayanan, we lost that link with you. Go ahead, complete your point.
Yeah, just shared a tweet from Edapadi Ramaswamy that says in the 17th Tamil Nadu Assembly elections, candidates from various parties have contested and emerged victorious. I extend my heartfelt congratulations to the party that will form the government in Tamil Nadu. It seems to signal that ADMK wants to sit out on the sidelines, and therefore there goes the chances of Tol Thirumavalavan becoming chief minister with the support of, say, DMK and ADMK, which was a wild card. Now back to TVK, my own analysis is, let's look beyond the horse trading that is apparent. It almost as if they could do an app, have an app for horse trading here. I have a feeling there's a huge simmering discontent among the masses of Tamil Nadu. I've been watching support for TVK from Kollywood, the Kodambakam film industry, which I consider to be the fifth estate of Tamil Nadu, like the fourth estate. It's got a huge following. And with this mandate, I expect that Jallikattu-like protests, for the protest that took place for the, bull taming game, and resembling Sri Lanka and Nepal uprising, the way things are, because the kind of moral bankruptcy shown by some of the smaller parties in leveling accusations against the deputant party is appalling. You know, I want to shift from my analytics mode to a commentary mode, because this does sound, even by the standards of Haryana that I'm used to, the Ayaram Gairam politics, this is a little too much given the tiddly-widdly numbers they have at their. So I have a feeling we are heading for a powerful speech from Vijay if VCK doesn't support him by 4 p.m. today. And this is a game of one-upmanship in which the DMK is very cleverly trying to pull strings from the back. That is evident. DMK doesn't seem to have even explicitly talked about the governor, which is quite surprising. I thought he was trying to play the game to corner the governor, but it looks like Stalin and DMK, look at all their various statements from party cadres, not only against Congress, but even, symbolically trying to show that they are still calling the shots. So I have a feeling they're waiting for Vijay to make a fool of himself.
This theme of the DMK's role, MK Stalin's role, is a very interesting one, Madhavan, which I want to explore in just a little bit more detail. Before I come to you, and I did have a question on that specifically for you as well, because it is very clear that contrary to the kind of sober, detached role that MK Stalin is playing, it does seem like there is power play and strings being pulled from the DMK leadership side as well. That appears beyond speculation at this point of time. I quickly want to get a word in from Deepak Bopanna, who's at the TVK headquarters. Deepak, all eyes on the TVK now. It comes down to that, but it is also very clear that the AIA-DMK-DMK alliance is still very much in play. This isn't over yet, Deepak.